2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 221 of the KBMOD podcast. It is January 10th, 2016, our second podcast of the year. And everyone is here except Katie Zen, who's, we are being reported his motherboard died on his computer. And since he isn't hardware rich like Brandon, as we were talking before the cast, Brandon was like, not everybody has just another computer laying around to load up, and maybe you should sell that one that you're sitting on, the 2500K.
Maybe so. But I don't know if he can afford it on a family video salary.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I like the guy. I'll give him a friendly discount, but I'm not giving it to charity.
Oh man, poor Katie. Well, hopefully he gets his computer up and running. But yeah, Tim again filling in here. Hello. Pinch hitting Tim a lot lately, man. What are you getting paid for this? Are you getting
paid? I'm getting paid.
Oh,
it's fucking awesome.
Shouldn't have said anything.
No, he's actually just promoting the brand. He's wearing his KBMOD baseball tee. Yeah, I've got my KBMOD t-shirt on. You know, that is the payment. The payment is in pride.
Is in pride, yeah, exactly. And you can use this all on your resume, Tim, for future, even though you just got a new job, if you need to put for future work experience, I'm sure.
Although that's a lot of lines on your resume, because it's going to be like...
Every cast.
Yeah, every cast that you've been a part of can be its own line.
Cite it, yeah.
And every time you've talked in any cast, it also can be like a subcategory of like some skill that you bring. Like, so anyway, the resume might get a little long, but yeah. So what's been going on, guys? What's been going on this week? John's back. How are you doing, John? How's everything going with you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Still getting ready to move and doing all the homeowner stuff. But
yeah, how close?
A couple weeks, probably.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
are you guys close to the house yet?
Yeah, we did. We're finishing renovations. We're thinking like maybe January 20th or so.
Nice. So you're going to do a home tour vlog video for your YouTube fans?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. I can't wait. That'll be... You should do it where you should do a commentary, Call of Duty commentary playing in the corner, and then you can have the vlog going as well for like old time's sake. It should be great.
Maybe.
Okay. John didn't say no, guys. I'm trying. We'll see what happens. But
that could be the video that restarts it all.
It could be. It absolutely could be. So what else has been going on? Let's talk about how our week's been. Anything interesting happen?
I was gonna mention because we were talking about like Christmas presents and some stuff we got last cast, but I forgot to mention because I've actually now settled in and unpacked from traveling and stuff, and I forgot to mention that my sister gave me it's called a foot hammock, and it goes so just listen. It goes under your desk, and you like hook it under your desk, and it's a hammock for your feet. And that by itself maybe is not like that great, but it also has a heating pad inside of it.
Yes. Okay.
So it's like a heating pad and a hammock for your feet. So I installed that under my desk, and I've
Are you using it right
never
now?
been happier. Well, so I'm actually not using it right now because I'll go real deep on the problem here. I have to choose whether I want to wear socks or whether I want to have nice toasty feet. Because if you wear it with socks, you will just burn up.
It's way too hot. Okay.
It is way too hot. So I'm actually I'm just wearing socks right now because it's not really that cold in the apartment. But a couple nights it has gotten pretty cold. It's been down in the 40s. So I just take off the socks. I settle in for a nice long gaming session, and I turn that heating pad on, and I don't want to go anywhere else.
Okay.
Nothing helps me brag like a pro like my foot hammock.
Oh man.
So that I went ahead and installed that.
I can see that being nice. Yeah.
And it worked out great because I have the IKEA desk with the little cable management thing screwed in underneath it. So I didn't even have to use like their built-in stuff that uses a sticky pad. I just hung it on my existing cable management under the desk. So and I installed the boom arm like we were messing around before the cast. I installed the boom arm that I got. I'm just trying to really make this a place where I never have to leave.
I'm really upset I can't find these on Amazon
right now.
That sounds fantastic, and I want one. But I
can't. I think I still have the box or something. I can see what brand it is. I can toss out a recommendation.
That's a nice little.
I do have longer legs. It may not work out so well for me though.
Well, look, it seems pretty customizable. I think you can figure out a way to make it work.
All right.
Is there any way that could actually be, depending on how you sit in your computer chair, a cock hammock as well, or a ball hammock? Depending on,
they they already exist.
Do they for gaming?
Called the banana
jock straps.
Oh, banana hammock. Yeah,
I mean,
No, but I'm thinking
are
of
you
one where
implying that you want one hanging from your desk?
Do you
Yeah,
want
so, like, under-
a gaming specific banana hack hammock?
I just think it needs to be gaming specific if it's going to.
Yeah, we'll just add
improve
like
my game.
green LEDs that go around the outline of your
Chroma's
copy.
in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it RGB so you can customize the lights. You can have them strobe and everything.
Okay.
Well, do you want
Customizable.
it to work like gamer grip? Like I don't know how do you what.
No, it's
Your
just
end game
it's
is
just
here.
like you can. So the way I'm visualizing it, so I'm sitting like at my desk. I have my feet kind of stretched apart right now, and I'm right at the edge of my chair, so that my boys are dangling over. And if you, I don't know, I think you could.
Why are you even sitting that way? That doesn't
I
sound
don't
like
know.
a
I'm just trying to make
comfortable
this
way
product work. It might be. I'm just trying to make this
Refer to them
product
as
Just let it
the
work.
boys.
I feel like that's the most PG way to refer to
My
them.
boys.
Needless to say, I did not do much research into other configurations for the foot hammock.
Okay. It sounds like it's pretty customizable though, because you're saying you didn't need to install it with the stuff it came with. So
It is, yeah.
Maybe.
It ended
Yeah.
up being.
How are the
pretty
drivers?
yeah.
Well, actually, the only downside is that because it's just got a heating pad inside of it. The heating pad has to be plugged in, and so you don't have like a long, handle for the heating pad itself. You have to kind of reach down and leave that under your desk. So that's really like the only downside in a product that I really can't recommend enough.
My cat would love to sleep in that.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
no, you
it
said
seems
cat.
like,
I'm
uh,
thinking my cat would take it over.
Oh yeah, it got linked in chat. I think it's just
I just linked it, yeah, I
thefoothammock.com.
found
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. This thing looks pretty legit.
yeah. So
Think
it's
of all the testicles you could put in there too. That's like you could bring like 5 of your friends over and fit everybody in there.
Can I just stop everyone and scroll down to watch the hammock in action? And this guy at the beginning of this video looks like his feet are just in a box. Why are his feet in a box?
His feet are cold, so he's trying to keep them warm. So he keeps them in a cardboard box.
Just got a random cardboard box. I mean, I can't say I've ever done that, but
My feet used to be homeless before I bought a hammock.
That is a good selling point. It's like, listen, if you currently keep your feet in a cardboard box, this is
What
better.
the hell?
Yeah.
Currently, my options are to just keep my feet where they are and not put them in a cardboard box. I don't know.
I really don't get the cardboard box.
I feel like you're going out of your way if you're putting them just in a cardboard box. Like
They were like, we really need to
shoes on?
stress like how painful this is if you don't have the hammock. What would be put in a box? Find a box from outside. Put your feet in it.
Well,
No, that thing does look
they've
pretty
sold
cool.
at least one, so far
Yeah?
to a happy customer. I am impressed. Solving a need I didn't know I had.
Right. That's pretty nice. Okay. So Brandon got that set up. I had a bit of it. So I woke up, I guess 2 days ago now. I think I woke up Friday. It really started, but Saturday was real bad. I woke up and I couldn't hear out of my left ear at all. And so that was a little odd. So I was like, this isn't
Getting
good.
old sucks.
I know, right? I was like, that's it. It's over. There goes my left ear hearing. And I thought it might just be like so I'm someone that is always, every time people bring up using like Q-tips and stuff like that, I'm always like, you're not supposed to use those. And for some reason, I've always, and I know that because like my doctor's told me.
why do I absolutely know that you are that type
you're
of
being
person?
locked up. I'm gonna fucking vomit.
Yep. No. So well, yeah. Just get ready to vomit. So I've been using them for the past month, and I think I used them particularly aggressively one day, and I basically any kind of blockage in my ear was pushed down very deeply into my ear, and I don't know what happened like over the course of like my night's sleep, but it was so bad. It was so bad that I couldn't get it unblocked myself. I spent my entire, I'm not kidding.
Clean your fucking ears, you fucking animal.
No, I clean my ears all the time. It has nothing to do with that. I just probably produce an excess amount of wax, maybe compared to the average person. That's what I'm learning now. So, because I clean my ears every time I shower. So I was like, I don't even know what this is. So I had used the Q-tips and I was like, that's the only thing that it can be. So I'm doing like all this research. I'm doing every home remedy. I'm jumping on one foot. I mean, if you had a camera in my house on Saturday, I was doing every kind of home remedy that you could imagine for like 6 hours, and nothing was working. And it was so, I mean, it's so disorienting. Like I'm really having an appreciation. Like once I get old and I lose my hearing, I might just end it all because it was miserable. I was just like, I hope my equilibrium's off. Like I can't hear anything. Like people are having conversations with me. I feel like handicapped going outside. Like I was outside out and about. People are saying things to me. I'm like, excuse me, can you say that again? I was like, this is what it feels like to get old. So finally,
Sonny, can you say that into my good ear?
Yeah, basically, I could not get anything done.
Thinking about getting one of the ear horns that you just carry around with you.
Yeah, I really needed to get an ear horn.
It's 1800.
So I honestly I tried everything under the sun, other than going to the doctor because I hate going to the doctor. But fine, I even went to CVS and picked up the stuff that's supposed to like help with the blockage. People online are like rating this thing 5 stars. They're like, you have to leave it in for more than like 4 minutes. It says like 4 or 5 minutes. So I did that. Nothing worked. They were like,
lay down for 36 hours and don't move.
Yeah. No, but literally, that's what the review said. One of them was like, you got to pour 20 drops in and lay for an hour. I'm not kidding. I did everything. I was like, it's still not working. I was so frustrated. So finally today, I just went to like one of the Minute clinics where you can just like walk in, and the doctor walks in and she's like, can you explain to me what's happening? I was like, I just cannot hear out of this ear. I was like, I think it's pretty blocked up. She literally, takes out her tool, looks in my ear, and goes, holy shit, you're going to birth a baby out of that thing. What? I was like, what the hell, doc? And she was like, oh yeah, she's like, did you use Q-tips? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, she's like, no, stop, don't use Q-tips. She's like, you basically jammed whatever was in there so deep, like the only way we're going to get it out is with, they had to use water pressure. And I realized when I was younger, I'd had this done. Like I called my mom afterwards and she's like, you had that done when you were younger. And I was like, yeah, because all these repressed memories started coming out. Spray bottle. And they have this huge nozzle at the end of it. And it's so funny because online, they're like, whenever you're trying to like remedy this at home, they're like, don't put too much pressure. Definitely go to a professional. This nurse God bless her. She cleaned out my ears. I hear better now than I've heard in 20 years. Dude, they just aqua fuck your eardrum over again. Yeah, like just insane water pressure in your ear canals. Aqua fuck, dude. And it was painful. Like my eardrum I was like, she's like, is it hurting? I'm like, yeah, that really hurts. But she got it all cleaned out, and I'm going to spare you the details. But you have to hold this plastic up.
I've seen those those earwax removals, like when people's ears get clogged up on YouTube. Yeah. I saw one of them and I was like, I checked out. Like, I will never go back to ear things. And oh god,
man.
Yeah, the ear it's so strange. It's like an alien. It's like
so
the inside of an ear is really fucking ugly. By the way,
it's crazy. Yeah. I don't even understand.
Gross. So I'm holding this as she's like cleaning out my ears, and the doctor also looked in the other ear, which wasn't clogged and was fine. And I thought she was gonna be like, oh, that's fine. She's like, oh yeah, we're going in there too. Both my ears.
No, that's good. You're preventing a problem.
No, it is. So honestly, like when I was done, I was like, I felt like a new man, like a new human. I was so excited. I was like, it was disorienting to be able to hear out of both ears.
You have a new lease on life.
I did. I was like, I'm just gonna start
putting cotton swabs in my ears for granted again, are you?
No, I'm never going to. And she's like, well, now we're starting from zero, so now you just got to be preventative and not use Q-tips, but there's like, you just use like water and stuff like that to clean them out. So anyway, I feel a million times better. It's like cleaned out, but anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's just say the stuff that fell into that cup was it. There was a lot of years, not years of buildup, but it. I don't think I'd ever had my ears that thoroughly cleaned in like 15
Imagine if
years.
they could tell how long it's been in there.
Yeah, no,
like count the rings,
like tell you
carbon dating for your earwax.
Oh yeah, and then
it's been in here since you were 3 years old, Scott.
I know it might have been some remnants of it, and then my girlfriend's gonna kick out of it because I was driving back, like I was snapping behind my ears and like listening to all these sounds on the drive. I was like, I've never heard my seatbelt rub against on my jacket like.
Oh my god, dude!
I really appreciated everything. I really do. I'm never taking hearing for granted again. So I do. I have 20/20 ears now too. That's a good way to describe it. Like I can hear everything. So anyway, crisis averted. But no joke. It was like 10 minutes of that nurse spraying that water bottle full pressure through that nozzle into my eardrums. And anyway, so hopefully I won't have to go back and I can be preventative.
I was gonna say when I like
shit was
I thought I ruptured my eardrum once. They didn't do that same thing, but they used like a vacuum thing to suck it out, and I thought that's what you were gonna say they did.
Oh yeah,
because that was also gross.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be gross too. Yeah, no, this time they just basically used water pressure to like force it all out. So, oh god, the vacuum. Yeah, I hope maybe next time if that happens, they'll put the vacuum on me. I hope not.
Well, hey, now you'll have better spatial awareness. You'll be better at Counter-Strike.
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna help at all. But we'll see. Maybe. I'll be hearing. Someone in chat said you'll hear the enemy's comms. Maybe. I hope so.
You're now superhuman.
Yeah. So definitely my ears feel I feel like my ears just had the shower that they'd needed for the last 15 years. So anyway, that was my last 2 days. Literally, I can't believe something is like, it sounds stupid, but up until the moment that my ears were cleaned, I couldn't focus on anything else. It was just so distracting. And like, I woke up this morning and I had done this before I actually went to the doctor, and I think I had like, my body got used to not being able to hear out of the other ear, because I woke up and I was like, oh, everything's nope, no, it's not. Like, and then I started realizing, I was like, no, I can't hear anything out of it.
Your body
like,
started adapting to your
yeah,
new
my body
state.
was adapting after like 2 days. It was like, no, this is the way it's going to be for the rest of your life. So get used to it. So anyway, no more. Does anybody have any stories that are not related to ear blockage that they'd like to share? Because I'd really like to segue out of this now.
Pretty much the same thing happened to me this week. Just
Oh, really?
no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I did nothing this week. I watched AGDQ. That's all.
Oh,
We're
man, I
gonna
watched
talk
so
about
much
that.
AGDQ.
Yeah.
Pretty much where I was at.
Any particular runs that stood out?
I think
for
we're
you?
gonna get there.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, we can do that now.
We
You
can,
brought
talk,
it up.
we can talk about it
Doesn't-
now. The one run that I thought was the craziest this year, kind of like the Tetris run from last time, was Step Mania.
Step Mania was
a
insane.
game that I did not even know existed until I watched
Really?
this run. I've never played Step Mania. I don't know. I didn't know what that was, but it was unreal. Does someone else want to describe like what the game actually is? It's like a rhythm game.
DDR on a keyboard
Yeah.
is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
I don't know. That's how I would describe it to someone. But then it just gets so much faster
They were
than
doing
DDR
so
could.
many keystrokes. They were doing like 15 to 30 keystrokes per second, which
Jesus.
like
That's
their
insane.
APM was off the charts.
Yeah.
That's fucking
It'd be
insane.
fucking great at StarCraft.
Yeah, like the camera on the stream couldn't keep up with the movement. It was like lagging a little bit because there was so much movement going on and so much input. Like it was crazy. You should absolutely.
It's a
go
shame
watch
that the
run.
rhythm game scene didn't pick up as much in the U.S. outside of like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, because like there's like
There's a lot out there that
IIDX
are
is
good.
one.
Mm.
Like everybody's seen Osu now, but there's just
Yeah.
so many good rhythm games.
Yeah.
It's a damn
Um,
shame.
My favorite was probably the Mario Maker block where they had the random,
that one
or they
was
had like a
great.
four-way race when
Yeah.
none of them had seen the maps. That was pretty cool to see them.
Yeah, I
go
don't
through
actually
that.
watch a ton of Mario Maker, but that was really, really fun watching them play these ridiculously hard Mario Maker maps.
I didn't see that section. So like, how adept were they at that? Like, did it just depend on the level, or were some guys like just it didn't even matter, or did they all struggle?
A lot of them, I
That's
feel,
tough.
over. Like looking back on it, I know Trihex said he overthought some of the puzzles where he could have like
Yeah.
just finished it a lot quicker, but he was like just waiting for something to happen, or like, they conditioned him to think something was going to happen at the end of the level, but then it didn't.
Right, but then there's nothing. Yeah.
So
And it was a 3v3 race, and whenever one of them died, I think they switched to a new person.
Yeah.
Right?
I
So,
believe so, yeah.
it was like two people were spectating, and if the person died, then they switched. So that made it sort of interesting too, because it
Okay.
wasn't just one person just doing it over and
grinding up the
over.
level. Yeah, it was a lot of observing and stuff. So it was cool. I mean, I don't watch much Mario Maker either. I don't even own the game, but I think the game is really cool. It's a great concept, and the fact that people are doing like making those types of levels and even playing those levels is pretty cool to me. And then that and TaskBot's always a good segment every year.
Yeah, TaskBot was pretty cool. I don't want to spoil their special thing if people want to go watch it, but TaskBot did something pretty cool with the game Brain Age on DS, I think.
Yeah,
Holy shit! I'm watching the Step Mania VOD right now on YouTube.
Yeah, it's unreal.
insane. I just love the chat is just fucking. They can't believe it either. Oh wow, that's a huge crowd for that one too. That's cool.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, there were a lot of really good runs. One run that I enjoyed that I don't think they've done before was, well, I guess they wouldn't have done it because it hasn't been out that long, but they did a Wolfenstein The Old Blood run.
That
which-
was cool.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. It wasn't like it was anything super special, but he was just running around and one-shotting stuff with the pipe constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was just so skillful. So I like watching new games that haven't been perfected
Yeah.
over the years. Like I like watching a game that hasn't been out that long and someone has just gotten really, really good at it.
Yeah, that was pretty late for us in our time, but I woke up randomly and I couldn't sleep, so I was like, all right, I'll just turn this back on. And then that was like right during the middle of that run. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Like I wasn't sure if it was I wasn't sure if it was Old Blood or the other one that came out, New Order.
Yeah, it was the Old
But
Blood.
yeah, it was just cool watching him go through, like just doing all those different clips and stuff like that through the wall. That I don't know how these people find these glitches.
It's crazy that they find.
They do.
I mean, the Old Blood has not been out that long. To be able to find like glitches, and he completed it in an hour 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like finding that many glitches and ways to speed up the game in a year? Like, because that game has not been out very long.
Not even a year.
It's not even a year.
That's
Not even a year
crazy.
yet. It's just unbelievable.
Let's see what else was played. Kazu Super Mario Brothers 3 was really cool to watch, just because that was. I mean, that's like, for those that don't know, it's like a lot harder version of Super Mario Brothers 3. Apparently, like the levels are completely different, but they're just a lot more challenging than the base game. It just has all the mechanics of Mario Brothers 3. That's all.
Nice. Okay. We can also segue into what we've been playing as well. Tim, why don't you go with what you've been doing besides watching AGDQ?
A lot of XCOM again this week. Still.
I
on the
died,
same
right? I
save.
died earlier this week.
You died earlier this week, yeah.
How did I die though?
Unfortunately.
I didn't see how I. Yeah. How did I fall?
I'll pull it up and I'll let you know in a second.
Okay.
Wait, who are your people?
Everyone that I've known or loved in the past, but there's not so
Or
many people alive anymore.
So does that mean I'm in there?
I think you're dead, but
Sweet.
you were a soldier. So a
Was
lot
I
of
the first
XCOM
one dead on your crew?
No. I didn't
okay.
put you until later on, but you're
Oh,
dead
okay.
like one of your first 2 missions. So,
Oh, that sounds about right.
let's see. I've been playing that. I played Super Mega Baseball, which is a game on Steam. It's a nice mix between like kind of like backyard baseball, where it has like crazy characters and all that stuff, crazy looking characters, and like the classic like MLB games you would play on PlayStation 1. So it has like it's a really good baseball game in the sense like if you want to play a sports game, but it has like that lighthearted nature where it doesn't take it so serious whenever you're playing it. And I don't know, I bought it on
Is
sale
it like
during the winter
licensed
sale.
teams or no?
Yeah, no, it's all like made
Okay.
up teams. There's no
Yeah,
like actual professional players in the game either. It's all
Right,
just made up
right.
characters. But you can
Yeah.
completely customize those characters as well. I haven't gotten into that, but you can change their looks. You can name them. You can like kind of sort their stats around to see if like if they want them to hit for power or hit for accuracy or like to be fast on the bases. You can kind of modify all that stuff. So
What does it look like as far as graphically? Is it like more cartoony or is it like
more cartoony, yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah, it's very cartoony. But
Yeah, it's a game.
like people have like little bodies but huge heads, or like people in the crowd, like everyone in the crowd's customized as well. So there's a guy like had a huge head, but like no, like he had a mullet is basically what it was. So I don't know, like the characters look funny, and it's a lighthearted game. It's pretty fun.
You saying people with mullets look funny?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
More
In
often
comparison
than not.
to you?
It's lighthearted, but it's serious at the same sense, and it's kind of hard to dial in the difficulty though. Cause
Is there online or is it just offline?
Not that I've checked or tried
Okay.
yet. But I know that
Apparently, by
there-
the way, Tim, I died moving to take shots for your mech. Are you
Oh,
serious?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was a meat shield for your mech, which is not even a living thing. That's fucked up.
You died from a heavy plasma from a Muton Elite. So, I mean, it's a tougher enemy. It's not like you
Listen.
died to a sectoid, which is the basic one.
There was a cause, at least.
Yeah.
There was something that you died for. Didn't have to be a person.
There's that. I've been playing a lot of Lightning Returns this weekend because I've just been home and didn't feel like streaming. So I'm almost done with that game. It's on the lower tier of Final Fantasy games, but I just want to see how that whole saga ends. Is really what it is. The combat's fun. And then nothing else has been played this week, I don't think.
Okay. Nice.
A real Final Fantasy fan would love it.
No, they're the ones who hate it,
No, they don't know what they're talking about.
obviously.
Brandon, what about you this week? Did you get a chance to play anything?
Yeah, just been playing some Hearthstone like normal. Nothing really new there. I played a fair bit of Just Cause 3 this weekend because I wanted to finish it. And I don't really know why I wanted to finish it because I mentioned before that the story is not really that good. So I actually got to the point where I just started skipping the cutscenes. And I think that's probably the way to play the game. Like I don't miss having like missed out on some of the story. But the missions are really cool, and so I beat the game last night, and you just basically like the game I think is still worth playing. Like it's got a lot of replayability because there's still a lot of stuff to unlock after you can complete the main story. Like I still have a lot of different kind of car and air unlocks and stuff. So that's been fun. Like I think it's a game that I will probably continue playing on and off, but more when the multiplayer mod launches for sure. And then last night I played a bunch of Rocket League, like late night Rocket League with some people. So that was good. That's about all I played.
Nice.
Being yelled at real quick. We had our community night as well, and I played COD 4. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about community night. Was that good?
Was that?
It was a good turnout, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. And we just kind of, I don't think I went positive one game, but I had fun. So
how many COD 4
Obviously.
servers are still up?
there's a decent bit. There's
Yeah.
2 go-to TDM servers that we always play on, and the one had enough slots to fit everyone, so it was nice.
Oh yeah, we had kind of an impromptu community night playing Battlefield last night, and I saw like dozen or more people on, so I decided to hop into some BF4 and played a little bit of that. And I think the reason that I don't play Battlefield more is that game is it is so noisy and visually cluttered. Like I got frustrated because I would die and I wasn't even sure where the person was because I have a lens flare, coming in here. I've got like some foliage. The game is beautiful, but it is so distracting.
It's so much when you're trying to play at an FPS.
Yeah,
I agree.
I play it like super dumbed down visually.
See,
Yeah. It's almost better.
I thought about doing that, but I feel like that takes away why I want to play a Battlefield game in the first place.
Yeah.
It's one of those games that I think the way I enjoy it most is I turn up the graphics as high as I can, as high as my PC will allow, and I understand that I will die probably more than I will in other games. Like I'm not going to be at my peak, but I'm just there for the experience. I'm there just enjoying the scenery.
It looks badass.
Yeah, like it looks really cool. But I just remembered that last night because I haven't played Battlefield in a long time, and I was getting frustrated because I was dying, and I was like, I don't even know where this person is. Like the sun is in my eyes. Dude, I really wanted to disable like lens flares and ambient occlusion and all of that, but I didn't. I was just like, all right, I'm just here as a casual.
Yeah. No, what you just described has always been one of the turnoffs with Battlefield in the sense of, I get what John's saying, like turn it down if you really want to like play at your best, probably, but it's like that's part of what makes Battlefield great. I
feel like if you turn it down, it's just a bad game. If you turn the graphics off, it's not a great game.
Yeah. Well.
Wow.
I enjoy it greatly.
I think it's an okay game on its own, but I think the graphics and the experience is made by the fact that it is a beautiful, lush environment you're playing in. It's different than Counter-Strike.
Can you say lush again?
No.
Oh, okay.
Lush.
And also Battlefield compared to Just Cause, I was like, why are my rockets not blowing up the whole side of this building?
That's kind of spoiled you in that sense.
So maybe I just had my expectations wrong going in.
Levolution's a lie. It's all a lie.
Literally, hopefully this isn't. I don't think this is really spoiling anything with Just Cause, but there is a weapon you get toward the end of the game that you unlock that is a rocket launcher. It looks like an RPG, but when you shoot it at something, it just everything in and around it explodes. It is a huge sun erupting type explosion on your screen just from this like rocket that you shoot. So Just Cause 3 definitely does not lack for boldness.
Okay.
It's no dubstep gun, right?
Not
right.
quite, but it's
Saints
close.
Row.
It's close.
The third or the fourth that had the dubstep.
I believe that was the fourth one.
Yeah.
It was the fourth one, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Nick? What did you play?
Halo, and that's it. Just Halo.
Nice and short.
Yep.
You still like the game, or do you hate it yet?
Yeah, I still like it.
Okay. All right.
It's good.
Playing what? Just multiplayer? Playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, dude, going back through that campaign.
I'm waiting for you to
Fuck yeah, let's
realize the
reload.
campaign's amazing.
Real
and be like,
sick.
I love
I'm waiting for you to
the
drop a
campaign.
spoiler, just one of these casts, just out of nowhere.
I mean, I could tell you guys the Halo 5 story right now, like as long as there's like nobody cares, and
It's only on console actually, so go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so this is the official, like, if you don't want Halo 5 ruined for you,
Yep. Stop listening now.
then stop listening and come back in like 30 seconds. Probably not even that.
Well, let's give a 5-second buffer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead.
Okay, so end of Halo 4, Cortana dies. Oh wait, Cortana's not actually dead, and now she's evil.
Really?
That's it.
I didn't see that coming.
That's it.
Shocking.
Master Chief doesn't die. Nothing.
Wow.
Oh, and then there's this other guy that's like, "Hey, we gotta find the Master Chief," and then you find Master Chief, and then that's it.
There's probably like 2 or 3 people that
are actually
you were
super
counting,
right now.
and they were like, "How do I find pause? How do I find pause? How do I find pause?" And then they like try and rip their earbuds out quickly.
Just rip the cord out.
Oh man, it's also been. Well, I guess
then they're on the bus when they're listening, and then everyone else on the bus hears it.
When there's 4 hours of gameplay, I mean, you can't really fit much more story in, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
You're pretty much maxed out.
Oh man, the story is almost as deep as Counter-Strike lore. That's right, Tim. That sounds about the same. Yeah. Wow.
The sad part about that was like I went into it and I was like, Halo 5. Even if I don't like the multiplayer, I'll probably because I always like the Halo campaigns, and it ended up being the complete opposite.
Yeah, you like the multiplayer more.
Yeah.
Well, what are the ranks in? Is it like the same ranks as like I haven't really played much since Breach.
What?
How's the ranking system for multiplayer ranks? Yeah, is it like as far as like the weight, like how it's weighted and stuff like that? Does it seem like?
Man, I don't know. I didn't play like ranked stuff in Reach.
Well, okay. You just play
that didn't really exist in Reach for the most part. They had it at first, but nobody used it. And like Halo 4, there was not really a ranked.
You don't play the MLG game types in.
Well, I mean, it's just ranked. There's ranked playlists, and then there's everything else. So, but it feels like it gets you in matches with people that are pretty good level. I mean, but I'm like sort of in the middle area. So I mean, getting my ranking right isn't too hard.
Okay. All right, John. What about you? What you play this week?
Just Counter-Strike. Some lots of Face It.
Nice.
Trying to play some video games. You know, I like competition.
Yeah.
Gives me something to do. It's a good time.
You should get that invite to the FPL, John. Join the madness.
I could get that. I'll get that.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince League.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Oh man. Okay. And I'll go real quick. Obviously, played some Counter-Strike. Continue to play through Mountain Blade Warband, and it's actually getting good now because I finally took over a castle and have been noted as an actual reigning king by another faction, which is a real. I know it sounds like it's a crazy, exciting
game. Is that a
game.
single player game? Or is that a multiplayer
Nice kid.
game?
You're that nerd at the fucking Ren Fair.
I know. I really am. And my you can name your castle. It has multiplayer, Tim, for like you can do like larger scale battles or like jousting and stuff like that.
What's the name of your castle?
But the name of my castle is the Pussy Palace Fur Burgers Only.
What did I expect, really?
I don't know what you expected. And honestly, ever since I named it that, recruitment has been super, super up. Like I go to all the villages and I recruit the peasants, and like they've been joining in insane numbers. I've like 6, 7 from each village. Like when you tell them that's where they're gonna go, they can't stay away. But no, it's pretty fun. And now now that I have that, it kind of opens up a lot of gameplay opportunities in the game. So. Anyway, Mountain Blade is I can't recommend enough. I think it's on sale for like $3 every week, and there's a new one coming out end of this year or next year. So I'm excited about that. And trust me, I'm not someone that likes like RPGs.
That feels like such a recommendation coming from you, because that is not the type of game.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that recommendation.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like this is not a game that I ever expected to like, and it's so addicting. It's really good. It'll draw you in even if it's not.
Are you so addicted to all the things it does when you go down on it in between the sheets?
Jesus Christ. Yes. There you go. And I also played. What else did I play? Oh, we started a Dying Light playthrough with Tomb. Sham
get into
and
that game.
Laser Parrot. Yeah, and I've been enjoying that.
I want to play that.
Really fun. Yeah, it's a good
The
time.
gameplay is really nice.
Josh,
I love the gameplay of it. It's
got
just
parkour, right?
Yes, the parkour, the movement's really fantastic. And I didn't realize like people were just like, oh, it's just.
Can you do speed runs?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I'm sure, like especially with your Mirror's Edge, you would love the movement in that game. I mean, I don't know, it's not exactly on par, but it feels like there's a lot of like potential for like really cool parkour stuff. And it's everything that Dead Island really should have been. I didn't even realize it was the same.
Yeah,
depths.
I was watching you play, and you said that the combat feels better than Dead Island, which I feel like that's like the area that I wanted Dead Island to be better.
Yeah, it's way better. It's just it's everything that Dead Island wasn't in a lot of ways.
You get guns like not at the end of the game, so that's
you got guns. We got guns pretty early on, and it feels meatier too, as far as like the combat and everything has like some serious like.
I like when it's meatier.
Yeah, it's real meaty. So anyway, I think that's it for me. Oh, also in regards to AGDQ, I didn't watch a ton, but some people sent me some clips to watch of AGDQ cringe moments that I had never seen.
Those are always the best.
Yeah, I just had
the 2016 one yet.
These were all from 2015 or 2014.
Yeah, I didn't really see many cringe moments, but yeah, I've seen some in the past.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys I just never even knew. I mean, I should have known it was a thing, but I had never known. And my goodness, just some incredible moments.
I feel like that is inevitable with an event that goes for 24 hours for 7 straight days.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was pretty entertaining and very painful. But yeah, so I think that's it for that. If anybody, unless somebody thought of something else they want to share, we can go into the news here, Brandon, in a second.
I played Five Nights at Freddy's.
Did you?
Do tell.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. God damn it. I got really excited. I actually haven't. I kind of want to go back and actually play because I played the first game and I haven't.
Do you?
I do. No, just.
Do you?
No, I don't really because I know what it is, but I mean, it does. I will say this. It does look like
you keep sounding like you want to, but
you said you played the first
asking.
one, so you played the third one and the second.
It looks
one.
like a little bit more effort has gone into the ones after the first. It looks like it.
I think there was.
No.
I think there was a 4-month release cycle on those games or something like that.
You don't know what you want, and you aren't allowed to make any more decisions on it for yourself.
Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I still can't get over all the YouTube channels just dedicated to the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. So many channels have been launched into the stratosphere because of what
and then
is or isn't in the game.
Within months, came crashing back down through the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true.
So August 8th was the first one of 2014. November 10th was the second one of 2014. That is 3 months.
That's pretty nutty. Yeah. How much do the Five Nights at Freddy's games even sell for?
$5 for the first one and $8 for the rest of them. You can get the whole franchise for $25 if you want. If you're feeling daring. March 2nd, 2015 for the third.
Oh, I should mention this. Someone, Mr. Schmidt in chat said this, but this wasn't last week. I think this was the week before. I don't know if I mentioned this. I couldn't get through Minecraft Story Mode. I uninstalled it mid playthrough.
Did you?
I did. I was so fucking fed up. It is so fucking terrible. And just
I was wondering how far you were going to make it with it.
Yeah.
What episode did you make it on?
I made it to the fourth. I think it was the fourth episode, and I was 30 minutes in, and something happened, and I had to uninstall it. I just couldn't. I mean, I paid for the entire franchise, but
I know what moment you're talking about.
Yeah, it was fucking. It's fucking terrible.
It's that top tier storytelling.
It's great. It's great. So anyway, Telltale should just be a fucking ashamed of themselves. There's really no way, nothing else.
I mean, it's an obvious move for. I mean, you gotta.
I get
it. Yeah,
I get it. I'm just saying it wasn't just because it's an obvious move. It doesn't mean it had to be as shitty as it was. They could have done something actually decent with it, and I just feel like the story is just so like we're talking about with Halo story. It's just so fucking predictable and not special in any kind of way. And I understand
whoa, no one said that about the Halo story. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking
saying Halo 5, dog.
Halo 5 or whatever.
You come with that hate again, boy.
The universe is pretty nice.
Yeah. I like how no one can talk shit about Halo unless it's Nick. He can talk about it. But
yeah, I'm the only one that's allowed to say that it's an awful game.
Shit. Oh man. But I mean, in general, Telltale has really the Game of Thrones franchise or series as well was also really bad. I couldn't even finish that either. I own both of those again. I don't think I'm gonna go back and even try. But I haven't played Tales from the Borderlands. That one I hear is the last.
It feels like Telltale is putting out a lot of games when they didn't used to put out a lot of games.
I think Nick alluded to this, but if you go back, remember how terrible the Jurassic Park one Was Nick? Remember you played that on stream,
dude? Like I don't know why. Like they had
the rose-colored glasses, histories. People go back and they're rating it.
And everybody was nutting, dude. Now it's just like they're a company. They can make good games. They can make bad games.
It's not bad games.
It's not like fucking The Walking Dead season fucking 1, dude.
Yeah, because when that came out, like it had terrible reviews. Even like I remember, and then we went back and looked at it. It was like 85, 90% or something. It's something ridiculous for the Jurassic Park game. There's no way. Yeah, it was after Walking Dead. People were like, "Oh man, actually, we just didn't get it. It was brilliant. We didn't understand." I feel like that's what people were saying. But anyway,
I don't understand why they get like they're like so highly regarded.
Yeah, I mean they're good stuff. I mean, Walking Dead was really good.
They all right.
Yeah, I thought Walking Dead was good. I thought I think their best work is the
Jurassic Park.
Wolf Among Us. I think it was really good.
Yeah, I still need to play that. I've definitely heard. Good. Aside from The Walking Dead, that's what I've heard the most about.
That's the one that'll probably give it.
I have it. I haven't touched it.
That one's story wise and like again that where they kind of created their. Anyway, it's kind of more original. It's super good. Yeah, it's really. I like it because it doesn't pull any. Yeah.
Is that one okay? I like to wait. If I ever play these, I want to play it all at once and not wait for an episode to come out.
Yeah, like it's all out.
Yeah, I don't like that format.
Yeah. All right.
That's why Telltale sucks ass.
That's why.
Fuck episodes.
I feel like I talk shit on Telltale every week. They're gonna get the wrong impression, but anyway, not really. I guess I'm just trying to say that I'm not proud of them lately. So it's all right. They can laugh all the way to the bank. I give them the money every time. I'm just like, yeah, I'll buy it.
I was gonna say, I think they're doing just fine.
Yeah, they don't really need my need my approval, but. All right. Do you want to jump into the news, Brandon? Should we do this?
Yeah. Let's hop into the news. First thing was CES was this week. There were probably a lot of dumb news items out of CES, but not a ton of gaming related stuff. We just picked some of the more interesting things because CES a lot of times is just a bunch of vaporware and stuff that never actually comes out.
And vapes.
and actually vaporware with the hottest vaporware. But the biggest thing I think from this week, which was not even necessarily CES related, but Oculus Rift pre-orders opened up, and no one knew the price beforehand, and the price we now know is $599 US.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there?
Don't care. Still buying.
That's enthusiast gear, not like normal everyday consumer gear.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about the price, but I think that like. I was telling Scott before the cast, it seemed like it started out as anger. People were like, how is it so much? It's going to, like no one's going to buy this at that price. But then it sort of came around to actually there is this hardware is pretty expensive for what's in here. This is a decent price. And they already sold out immediately. Like this price is not going to stop enthusiasts, which are probably the only people you want to have this version anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So like I don't know. I've played with an Oculus, the DK2 I think is a model that we've had like our hands available to. And while it's cool and all, like I don't know, I wear glasses, I can't see without them. So VR headsets don't really work out for me so well. Yeah. And it's not something I've been like super like I need to have this right away. So like if it was going to be like anywhere from $350 to even like $450, I probably would have thought about it eventually, but at $600, personally, I will not. Especially since not many games can support it right now either.
Yeah, well, there's the support thing too, and again, it's not going to be for me. Even when I get an Oculus, I don't ever see myself, at least right now. Like I'm never going to be playing Counter-Strike on the Oculus. I'm never going to play any game that I'm really taking seriously competitively. Right in its current state on the Oculus. So this would always just be something that's like, yeah, it's cool. Like when friends come over, we can use it. Maybe certain experiences, the single player, I can see being really cool. And it's again, I don't know like what the levels of motion sickness are with this version of it, if it's any better. I don't know if they talked about that. I didn't really see. But
I think they've largely fixed a lot of that.
Have they fixed most of that? Yeah, which would be helpful.
Like that's the other piece of this that I think is probably important to know is the $600 price tag. It's like they probably could have cut corners and gotten to a lower price point with worse hardware or a worse experience. But the risk you run there is that people do go out and buy it and they do get motion sickness or like it's not a great experience. And then maybe that sort of kills the hype for VR because people buy it and it's like, oh, actually this isn't that great. But I think like if Oculus can deliver a $600 product that blows people's minds, then like that hype train will just keep building up.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And then people in the chat, we've already talked about this a million times, but using it for pornography is going to be a huge part of its success. It
is like that's not just like a snarky comment. Like no, it's really true. That is absolutely true.
So
I'm personally looking forward to the thought of that. Like I think that could be fucking cool. So I'm gonna use it for that.
Yeah.
No one's gonna see me ever again.
Context, maybe $600 is not a bad price.
Like it's not like Brandon will just like come over on the weekends. We'll chill. We'll watch VR porn together. Like it'll be sick.
It'll be
just
normal.
Like bros fucking do,
You just
no harm in the porn.
Yeah.
I think that one other good comment I saw was that $600 is around the price of some high-end monitors. Like there are monitors more expensive than $600.
It's the price of a smartphone.
Yeah, like people spend $600 on a monitor pretty often, and this is basically a high-end specialized monitor. Like that's what it is.
2 monitors in one.
You guys are fucking Oculus apologists. It's obvious.
No.
I think it's expensive, but I don't think the people that were going to buy the Oculus Rift once they calm down, I don't think they're going to not buy it now. Like
right, so
the people that are buying that product are people who are very, very hardcore about technology and gaming and porn potentially. Like there is no way in a year people who are insistent that they were going to own an Oculus Rift just don't man up and buy it. Like it's
I agree with that, but is that so? Again, I guess what Brandon's saying that helps in the sense of that you want the real hardcore crowd to buy the first version anyway.
You want the crowd that can afford to spend $600 on things because they're going to spend more money on things.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Within that market.
True.
Like if you can afford $600 for an Oculus, you probably already have a high-end PC. So you're not going to try and run it on a Celeron with an integrated video card and then write a negative review because it runs like garbage.
I mean, you can bet your ass if Oculus is smart, which they are because they have Facebook, like there will be an Oculus marketplace similar to the Apple App Store. Sure. They will make their revenue, the majority of their revenue, off of other people's products being sold within that store.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
They need the target audience. Like their target audience is people with money. $300 is a Christmas gift. $600 is not a Christmas gift. Like $600 is adult purchase.
Yeah.
I think
so again, so you don't think that hurts them in the long? Because I agree. Like a lot of people saying, if it was $350, $400, I would have. The more casual market would have bought.
Like the only thing that hurt them, and this is why Palmer Luckey ended up like doing an AMA afterward, is basically I think they had sort of implied that it would be cheaper, and he admitted as much that his quote is he handled the messaging poorly, and that that's like that happens a lot, but I think that's probably the only reason that people were even shocked, because I think people expected too much from this product. Like I think people expected it to be everything to everyone, and it's not. Like I think it'll be a great product, and at $600 it should be. Like that's not cheap. But if it would have been $350 or $400, like it would have had to have been. They would have had to cut corners somewhere. Like the technology just is not there yet for this product to cost that little.
I even remember us having conversations like, how are they going to release something that's going to be, that kind of quality? I mean, I think there were questions about the price point anyway, like $350.
I think if they would have released it at that price, you would be looking for like, what is wrong with this product? How were they able to get it? Like it seems too good to be true. Yeah, and I think this is validation that it's not too good to be true. They're hard at work putting pretty high end stuff into the Oculus, and it's going to cost a little bit. But you know what? They can always make the next one cheaper. They couldn't make the next one more expensive. That would be a death knell.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing you brought up in the precast, Brandon, or pre-show, you were talking about how, I think even before we were online, but if you take a look like at the age, right? How old is the person essentially running this company right
24, 25?
23.
Yeah, 23 years old. So anyway, again, where you were talking about like.
Still a baby.
He's running this insane. It's multi.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Zuckerberg or somebody, one of the execs at Facebook is probably running Oculus.
Oh well, yeah, no, at this point. But I'm saying as far as like understanding like where there could be some missteps as far as just like excitement and saying too much, right? Like maybe a more seasoned person is like, okay, we probably don't want to say the price point until we know You know what I mean? What it's going to be and stuff
Or
like
they
that.
do, or they intentionally market it as a
maybe.
lower price good because it picks up press and more people are talking about it, more people discover the device, and then they get excited.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
Like,
I
I mean, that's shitty business and not something that I condone, but who's to say that that's not the way they're thinking about it? Maybe that was their real target price, and then once they built something at that price with like the level of quality that they could, they're like, this isn't acceptable for consumers. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
And like you know what? I appreciate that Palmer Luckey is not like a seasoned executive. You know, he's going on Reddit and it looks like he's typing out these responses himself. Like he, he's now nice. In the spotlight, but he's not having an assistant do it or something. Like he's out doing it. He's clearly passionate about it. You're going to make some mistakes along the way. And I think as long as the mistakes they make are not with the product they ship, you know, they can get over accidentally having people expect it would cost less. They can't get over not having a good product. And I think if the product ends up being great, no one will bat an eye at spending $600 if that's an experience they're looking for. And I mean, they're already sold out. Like you can't even get it. You can't even say it's too expensive because there are none left.
Yeah, it's gone. It's true. You want to talk about the KBMOD poll that?
Yeah, well, we did an unscientific poll here on Twitter. And 85% of 251 votes said that people didn't want one after hearing about the price. But I think that also makes sense because
it's just a different price bracket.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people following KBMOD are going to be people on a limited budget who like I will be the first to say that unless you have an extra $600 lying around to spend on something like this, like the first thing you should do, unless you have an awesome PC, is you should get a better video card or a better unless your PC is top of the line right now, you shouldn't even be considering an Oculus.
Yeah, this is something that like you have like a full setup and you're like, I can add on to this right now, like because I'm pretty much set.
Yeah, this is like if you have the headset you want, if you have the speakers you want, if you have every other like peripheral and a beast PC, then consider an Oculus. Otherwise, don't worry about it right now. Like you're going to benefit from all the people buying them now and developing cool stuff and making it better for when it does come down in price. And it's going to be a similar cycle to the iPhone. You know, look at the iPhone came out in 2007 and over the next like 4 to 5 years got so much better with every one.
Yeah.
And so like I think this will be the same thing. The future iterations of the Oculus will be the ones to have for your mainstream consumer.
Yeah, it's just going to become more and more approachable as a product as time goes by.
Plus, like in 2-3 years, when you think about the market of products that you have that actually utilize the tech, like getting it right now is not a smart decision. Like it's really not a smart decision to buy any launch product ever.
Yeah, especially
look at Xbox One still to this day. Look at like the amount of titles there are. Like it's still not ready.
It's an excellent platform. So,
and I think it is going to take a while for really compelling experiences, like full, complete experiences, to come out for VR. Right now you have a lot of incomplete stuff, a lot of demos, a lot of really cool, promising looking things, but no complete experiences yet. And I think it's going to be a while before developers really sort of understand the types of experiences that are great in VR that make an Oculus worth $600 in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like the average development cycle for a AAA game. It's like probably between 2 and 4 years, I would imagine, and that's using technology that they're already experienced with. Like you have to think about how much time it takes to get used to new technology. Like we're probably like they've been working on VR titles probably for the last year and a half or so. Which means you probably still got another 3 or 4 years before you're seeing anything like really groundbreaking. That's at least how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy one.
5 years.
I want to look at porn, but like with my bros, like I might buy like numerous Oculus.
Yeah.
So we can all sit together on the couch and look at porno together.
Yeah. Be awesome.
I think actually some of the non-gaming experiences will probably be the earlier killer apps, like watching Netflix in your VR or watching, like you said, watching porn, like
going
experiences.
to Disney.
Yeah, experiences that don't take developing art assets and developing a story, like your own storyline from scratch. I think we'll probably see cool apps come out before we see cool games come out for VR.
Yeah, I'm really excited for like roller coaster simulations and stuff.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like, put me on the fastest roller coasters at like Cedar Point, so I don't have to go to Cedar Point. It'll be the same experience.
Yeah, there's YouTube channels for that already, so I mean it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
There's YouTube channels for everything,
Including smoking joints and listening to Skrillex.
Yeah. But I mean, why wouldn't you want to smoke weed and listen to Skrillex?
Don't those always have to go hand in hand?
Yeah.
I don't think there was.
I never listen to Skrillex unless I'm also inhaling some of that sticky marijuana.
Jeez. Okay.
What?
Nothing. I haven't heard you actually refer to it as marijuana in a long time, so I'm a little shocked.
Oh, I just can't get enough of that THC, buddy.
There we go. Oh man! All right. Well, we got a couple racer stories, huh, Brandon? This week.
Yeah. So the couple other things that were kind of interesting out of CES were a couple of products from Razer.
Yeah.
So one of them is.
Let's hope these reach the market before we even get into it. Unlike that, what was a Project Cassandra computer or something? Continue now.
Yeah. So one of them is an Ultrabook called the Razer Blade Stealth. So it's like an Ultrabook version of the Razer Blade, which, from what I can tell, is actually a pretty good computer. Like people that have it seem to like it.
Yeah.
But I guess the killer feature here is it has an optional dock that will let you bring your own video card, which sounds cool. Is anyone going to actually do that?
If you're getting to the point where you're carrying around this box that you can put your GPU in, like why not just like make a small computer on its own and then like carry it around in a case?
To a micro ATX case, the size of it.
I feel like that would just be better.
You asked who would do this. The one person I could think of is Dave Oshry would do this. Like he's one person.
I have a couple spare decent video cards. Like I have two 680s.
But isn't the Razer Blade pretty good anyway? Like if you're in a pinch,
it's not like desktop GPU good.
No.
So like for me to be able to wrap a second video card whenever I travel if I'm gone for a few weeks, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
I don't think it's for the mass market, but I was going to say really cool.
Actually over Christmas I would have appreciated a feature like this, like being able to have a skinny laptop where if I really am in a place where I would like to play games, being able to plug in a beefy video card and like you're saying just kind of wrap it in a t-shirt and bring it in my suitcase. It's not something I would do all the time, but it would be great to be able to play games when I am in a place for a week or two and I have some downtime.
Yeah.
I don't think people will use it because even I would use it very rarely, but it would be cool. I'm just not sure if it's like a flagship feature that's worth touting because these computers are already expensive, and expecting someone to buy a video card on top of it and then carry it around with them to play, I just don't think many people will do it, as much as I think the feature is cool.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. I guess... Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I guess as far as actual transportation, right, it's easier to have something like this than have a dock and just carry a small, video card. I guess it makes sense.
If they could make whatever this dock is work with other laptops,
yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
But
the fact that it only works with this Ultrabook, it seems kind of...
Got to sell their own products, bro.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if someone were to come up with something like that,
that's the other thing too. Is maybe I'm missing something here, but the pictures I see are a video card in an enclosure. How much does that enclosure cost?
That's true too. Yeah,
it just on here. It just says it comes with a added enclosure if you want.
Okay. Then maybe that's not bad if it comes with the enclosure. But that's what I was thinking is if I have to pay extra for that enclosure, then no one is going to use this.
Listen, if you want to play on the run, I have a solution for you. Hear me out. Buy yourself an Xbox One and buy yourself a games case. Use code NFEN 3% off at checkout. So I feel like if you want to play real games on the real Master Race, check it out. Halo 5 Guardians.
Is that NFEN with a 3 or an E?
With a 3. The 3 for 3% off. Yes.
Okay. Nice. Gotcha. I like that marketing there.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, this does look like a pretty nice Ultrabook. which I think is a nice form factor to have when traveling, regardless. So I would not be surprised if the Ultrabook itself does pretty well. I'm just not sure about that video card dock.
We should move on to Razer's next product, which is one that I think far more people would be incredibly interested in because it's fucking fascinating tech.
Yeah, so this definitely got a lot of press, and it looks like Razer has actually launched it at CES. It is called the Stargazer webcam, and it's using Intel RealSense technology,
which is cool in itself.
Yeah, to basically simulate a green screen. The effect is that you do not need a green screen, but it will remove the background from the webcam's view. So I guess the idea here is that streamers, broadcasters would want this because green screens are kind of a pain to set up. Obviously, a lot of people don't want to even mess with that. So this webcam sort of gives you a little green screen in your webcam. And I have not seen this technology in demonstration.
I'm curious to see how it works, how well it works.
Apparently, it's been around for a little while, but it's not like been implemented into like a lot of products.
The Intel technology's been around,
yeah.
But as far as like putting it, and I think it's all just been in their laptops, nothing like as an actual physical device to be used.
Now here's the thing: is the Stargazer costs $200.
$200.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think. I mean,
that's
I think is a lot for this
for a webcam. Yeah, I mean, what's the C920s like? $75 or $80?
No. But think about how much money you're gonna spend on if you're looking for a professional green screen setup.
That's true. That's true. But,
so,
but here's
like you're gonna be spending probably around that, and like plus a webcam. So it's like if you're trying to if you don't want to have the clutter behind you.
Well, let's break this down though. Like an actual green screen itself, if you just want the cloth, $5 max. You can get cheap stands for like $20 on Amazon, and then if you get like a C920, they're $60.
So you're like $100.
That's $100 there. So it's double the price, but this also has 720p 60 FPS. Which, in my opinion, most streamers don't actually need a 60 FPS webcam because they don't do much movement on screen. But for rhythm games like Stepmania, or if someone's streaming DDR drums or Rock Band drums or doing DDR or whatever, like 60 FPS would look amazing on that sense. But I feel like a lot of streamers don't actually need 60 FPS video because they're not doing much movement themselves on stream.
I think it all comes down to how well the technology actually works. Maybe I'm just too skeptical, but a green screen works because there's literally green behind you, and you are removing green from your from what the webcam is rendering. So look at all of our backgrounds. Look at my background. Look at Tim's background. There are all of these different colors. It's a very complex scene. Yep. I just don't see how the Intel thing could be as good as a green screen. Like the results would have to be as good as a green screen for me to say, yes, this product makes sense at this price point.
Yeah.
But I don't see how it could be good as an actual green screen.
I'm interested to see how it works.
I think this is a smart move by them though, because when you look in like how many Logitech webcams have been sold because streamers recommend it?
Yeah, tons.
This is true.
There really isn't
so
a ton
many.
Of there is not a ton of gear geared towards streamers right now. Yeah. So there's a huge market, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's super smart. And
personally, I'll probably buy one because I do want to do more Rock Band drumming streaming, and I feel like 60 FPS would look good for that. But as far as the green screen stuff goes, I'll probably still just use my green screen setup because I know I can make it work. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how the tech works. Is like Brandon's saying, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
If I didn't think that the green screen effect looked super retarded on streams, then I would take this over having the whole actual green screen just for space.
Yeah, I think
not having it set up.
It's an interesting idea. I just worry that if it's not a great replacement for the green screen effect, I think streamers would rather use a high quality webcam and have their background behind them. What will be worse than having a green screen is an effect that looks weird behind you, like pieces of your background showing up occasionally. That actually, I think, hurts your production quality more than just having your entire background in the corner of your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to wait.
So it's quarter 2 this year, right?
Yeah,
quarter 2. I'll buy one.
I'm sure Razer will probably be handing them out like candy, so you will you will probably find a lot of broadcasters.
Brad, if you're listening, make that happen.
Yeah. Listen again. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have not had any luck with Razer products in the past, and I generally steer away.
That's true. They don't have a good track record with a lot of.
I've always had.
I use their
things
Siren. I really like the Siren mic, and I like their keyboards. I use a Zowie mouse now, though. I used to get a Goliathus mouse pad instead of the QCK, and it's not bad.
I love my Death Adder. I've had it forever, and it still hasn't done me wrong yet, personally. But I do hear a lot of horror stories from people about Razer, so that's another thing. Hopefully it works so they can gain some good ground again. With some people, I mean, I don't know, various products don't work.
The fact that they're launching something that's clearly so geared towards the streaming crowd is cool, like you said, and just a story.
Yeah, and it could be something that even if it's not great today, I could see this product being really cool in 3 to 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
Like maybe the tech is not quite there yet, but it is a really neat idea. I think it's something that if it was integrated into every webcam in a few years, like you could sort of turn it on and off, I think that would be really cool. Just for this podcast, like if I had a webcam that supported that, I would use it. It would be really neat. I think it's just a question of how well it actually works.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing, though, so we didn't even discuss at all, but it does have, which I think for most people, most streamers at this point doesn't matter really, but it does have a noise canceling dual array microphone on it. Again, don't know how good it'll actually be. I think
normally webcam mics are just complete garbage.
Exactly. Yeah. So if it's but I mean,
if
who
it's
knows?
$200, maybe.
If it's like really good, and you're like, okay, I mean,
if you're the kind of person that's streaming on like a shitty gaming headset, like currently,
that's what I mean.
It might be a step up for you still. Like, I mean,
compared to that, we'd have to see
if you're going in.
True.
So yeah, I mean, if the mic's really good, then it's like, all right, maybe this starts to make more sense. Even if the green screen thing isn't
just sort of a general all-in-one like streaming solution.
Yeah. I think that's a cool thing to strive for. If you basically can put it on the top of your laptop or something and have a green screen effect and a great mic, that would be amazing. I don't think it will be that product.
Yeah,
that's
at least
my
the first generation
coming out.
Not the first generation.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the Oculus. It's the first thing of its kind for them. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not the first webcam, but it's first. They're stepping up from just being. It's stepping up from just being video. Like it's adding in all this other stuff to it. So.
Yeah, I love the direction it's going. I'm not sure I would recommend this today, but we'll see how well the technology works. Who knows?
You're right though.
To be fair, I have not seen this work in person, so I do not know how good the effect is.
Yeah. And like you said, these will be flooding the market soon on Twitch, I'm very sure. Very soon you will be seeing a lot of people trying these out. So hopefully me too, Razer, if you're listening.
Get your fight stick from them. I mean,
that's true. Not? I do have a fight stick from them, so I should be able to maybe try one of these out.
Fight stick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how are you using that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. Anyway, let's not talk about that. We haven't been using the fight stick that we got.
Kick.
Yeah, it was something. It was the Xbox One version or the 3. Yeah, the Xbox One, and there's no Windows drivers that actually fully map the fight stick. It's actually it's more of a Windows thing. Yeah, so it's kind of annoying. But the fight stick actually
the same thing with my PS4 stick as well. So
yeah, so it's just kind of unfortunate. So once the driver comes out that works, I'll use it. But all right, Steam games market. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Does anybody here have a guess? Not.
It's 3 billion, Scott.
I know. I don't know who I was going to ask. Like the viewers were going to be able to answer that, but there you go. Thanks, Nick. You just ruined it. But
I guessed that.
You guessed it.
Legitimate.
Okay. That was your guess. Yeah. So this is like I guess about as scientific, Brandon, as it gets, right, with the information that.
Yeah, it's from the guy that runs Steam Spy, which is it's not. Some of it is estimated, but he's tracking against Steam's APIs, and it's probably about the closest you can get, aside from being, a Valve employee.
Right.
But he estimates that Steam games were worth about $3.5 billion in 2015.
It's a lot of money.
There are a lot of other cool insights too. That if you're interested in it, it's a Medium post from this guy. But he basically looks at like Steam sales. A few notes are like the number of monthly releases on Steam stopped growing in 2015. Like for a while, there were more and more monthly releases. and that was kind of a crazy trend. Like more and more games kept coming out on Steam, but that sort of leveled off in 2015. December is the biggest month for Steam, which doesn't that shouldn't surprise anyone, being the holidays. But April was the biggest month by revenue, or the second biggest month by revenue, which was because there are a lot of big releases in April.
What came out in April? Does it say?
I think it was GTA 5. I'm not sure. I think there are one or two other big games in April. Destiny. I can't remember offhand.
Does it say?
It's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. A couple more points.
I guess
not too surprising, but the summer and winter sales are the best periods to buy games on Steam.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Shocking stuff.
I only buy in the spring.
I'm a spring buyer.
Get your propaganda out of here.
Full price or bust. Let's go.
And the monthly top charts are dominated by a small number of big, expensive games, which is maybe not too surprising, but it's like there is still definitely a place for large AAA games, as shown by this year. Games Grand Theft Auto, Witcher 3, Metal Gear Solid, like those games are making a lot of money. But I think it's more impressive when a game like Ark or Rocket League can even come close to those games' success.
True, considering Ark's not even close to being finished yet.
Yeah. So anyway,
I haven't been able to get into Ark at all. I guess I should feel bad about that.
On principle, no more DayZ games for me ever.
But it's got dinosaurs.
Or anything of that nature. Like no,
Nick, it's got dinosaurs.
I'm not getting my fucking hopes up.
Dinosaurs, Nick.
Nick, why can't you play something without getting your hopes up? You always criticize other people.
Jurassic
Just play
Park.
it. Don't get your hopes up. Just play it.
Dinosaurs. You love them.
Except that it could be shitty.
That's the kind of thing. No, the whole survival shit. Like it is proven just every time.
Hurt World's pretty good, must say.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. You know why? Because there's like one coming out every goddamn week.
The thing with Ark though, like they're actually patching it and like taking care of the game as it is right now. I mean, it's still being developed and it's early access. Is it done? But no,
I don't care.
No, but it's got dinosaurs, Nick.
Is it done?
No,
I don't care.
Okay,
that's
my. It's on Unreal 4. I mean, it's eye candy.
When a survival game comes out and it's not awful, then yes, then I'll start trying it again. But no,
they come out as in like actually release out?
Yeah, okay. Like any of them that DayZ. Like end up being decent. So even if DayZ like released, but it won't because DayZ just won't. DayZ's not ever happening.
So what do you guys think the two biggest games were this year on Steam?
This year, I would say
Minecraft
and Rocket League was one. I would feel.
I think Grand Theft Auto and probably
I would say GTA.
Fallout 4.
Yes.
Yep. So those Grand Theft Auto 5 and Fallout 4 were
that came out today.
This is estimated, but these are I think reasonable estimates. Like decimated everything else in terms of revenue. Estimate of 161 million for Grand Theft Auto 5 and 122 million for Fallout 4, which I think is impressive because Fallout came out so late in the year. That's just up through December 2015.
That's pretty good.
And the top by sales, the third through fifth spot were interesting. Third is estimated to be Ark. Fourth is Rocket League. Fifth, H1Z1. And even after that, 6 City Skylines, Besiege, Witcher 3, Dying Light, Life is Strange. So a lot of
fuck to see something like Life is Strange on that list. Actually, how much revenue is that?
They estimate about 2.7 million.
Good for them.
So yeah, lots of big titles on Steam. I mean, I think Steam is obviously where a lot of us play our games, but it's interesting to see it actually quantified because Steam doesn't really release any of that data themselves. So
yeah, so it's about as close as we get. So
Steam is it's a pretty big marketplace.
They're making money.
Not sure if you knew that, but
long story short.
If you needed any confirmation, we got you. There it is. Well, we don't have you, but
I don't think this is confirmation that I don't think you have to worry about, like the doomsday scenario of, oh, well, I'm getting all of my games digitally. Yeah, I'm buying all my games and their licenses technically on Steam. What about when Steam is not a thing in 20 years? And it's like, I don't think you realize. It's like Valve could probably turn off selling anything, and they could probably run Steam until we're all dead and buried. just with the money they have now.
Yeah. I remember that was the biggest thing. Remember when Steam first came out? They're like, "Oh my god."
We were so mad.
I feel like they have like
I was so mad.
backup plan for that. Like,
yeah,
not to just like leave everyone screwed if the day were to come that
they're actually going to snail mail a physical copy,
just one CD of all your games
to everybody. Yeah, to every user, your entire library. I guess DVD still wouldn't be enough. Yeah. All right. Well, we got some bad news, guys, about Half-Life 3 for this next next part. I can't even say Half-Life 3 without laughing and I'm fucking like, I love Half-Life 2 and I loved the DLC like the stuff after, but I mean even before it was called DLC. Was it even called DLC when the other Half-Life parts came out?
They were expansion packs.
I guess expansions, yeah before DLC, but so Mark Laidlaw, who was the writer for Half-Life, sole writer on Half-Life and Half-Life 2, he is no longer with Valve, and this had been rumored, but has now since been confirmed in an authenticated email post by lovely Redditor Teddy Wolf. Good, work Teddy Wolf does over on Reddit. I have no idea who the fuck that is.
We love his work.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf, for your work. So Mark Laidlaw actually responds basically like fully, kind of like maybe even in the style of like, you know how you can email Gaben directly and he'll sometimes respond to you. This was a pretty long, lengthy response in regards to not necessarily like mostly like, well, because part of it was why he's quitting. He can't say like he can't make any claims on. I'll just save you the stuff that people.
He says he's
know.
retiring. He says he's
he's retiring.
A lot of it's personal reasons, and he just kind of wants to probably do the family thing.
And he's not working on anything Half-Life related, obviously, at all anymore since he's retiring, and he can't comment on if there will be anything Half-Life 3 related, obviously, because he's not working with Valve on any of that stuff anymore. So that's it. But so I know a lot of people are saying that this, does this mean that Half-Life 3 will never come out or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's what it means.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Like,
what you're inferring is correct.
Does this mean Half-Life 3 won't come out? No. Will Half-Life 3 ever come out? Probably still no.
Yes.
Like this, I don't think changes anything.
No, agreed. So,
and I mean, it's also entirely possible that if there is a Half-Life 3 plan somewhere, he could have literally written all of it in the time since Half-Life 2 came out. Like there could be he could have fully written this and then retired, and they're just sitting on it. Who knows?
It's just one of those things where I don't know. Do we want it to happen? Yes.
Is it getting has the Half-Life? Can we all agree that the Half-Life 3 yearning has jumped the shark for like 5 years ago?
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm just please. Like I'm in the same boat as the survival games. I'm like, when I see it, I'll fucking believe it.
At this point, it's just a really worn meme.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah.
It'll be nice if it comes out, but like.
But again, like I've accepted
The Witcher 3.
I feel like I accepted 5 years. Like it's just probably never going to come out, and I'm not going to constantly. I mean, because there are people that still like. I mean, I know it's a meme, but people really are really upset. Like they really.
But even as a joke, like it's too far gone. Like we're too many years past the expiration date where it's like we can still like nudge each other with our elbows and be like, haha, yeah, Half-Life 3, right? Now it's like, please, for real, actually, we need this.
I mean, if you even think about, again, it would be interesting to see if they ever do release anything, or they who knows? They break the silence and like, yeah, we're working on something. But if you go back even and play Half-Life 2 and the expansions after, like it is really like, again, for the time it was mind blowing, but it is really it's an old game. I mean, it's super dated now. So anyway, it would be interesting to see.
The cinematic mod for Half-Life 2 looks fucking beautiful.
Well, that's sure a mod, but
I think it seems like this is basically just someone. I mean, he's been at Valve since 1997.
Yeah,
that's a long time to be at any company.
It is.
So I think there's probably no deeper story here. It's just like after 19 years, there are probably a lot of reasons that you might want to try something else. And I imagine he's probably done very well for himself. So
I don't think he's problem retiring.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably like, I take him at his word when he says, I'm gonna take a break. We'll see what's next.
He even talks about in the emails like how he was the old guy at Valve in '97. Like he was the old guy. He felt like it just because of the age compared to a lot of the people. So, he's been, like you said, he's been there that long. He's just like ready to. There were some pretty good quotables in the email. He said that He's no longer involved. Oh no, so that was the day-to-day decisions. He said he's feeling he needs a break from the collaborative chaos of game production. So, yeah, he's old and he's tired, man. Let him be.
As he was walking out the doors, he hit the delete key on the Half-Life 3 file.
Oh my god. Oh,
just casually as he passed by the computer of the only save for Half-Life 3.
Damn.
They go in the day after he leaves. His computer like, all right, well, you gotta get that script. You gotta push this out now. And they just realize that the script's not there anymore, even though they saw him working on it. Imagine their reactions in the office.
Yep. All right. Well, another Valve-related story. One more before we jump into the new releases here. But so Valve has. So a lot of you guys know, even if you probably don't play Counter-Strike, that there was the IBP match fixing, the iBuyPower big deal that happened. I guess it's over a year ago now. Yes, it is. And there was a situation where there was a match that was fixed in order to win about $10,000 of CS:GO skins. It was going to be split between the iBuyPower roster, and it was all basically ended up being found out, and the story was broke, and all those players. There's been other match fixing stuff in Counter-Strike, like even in Europe, but this was like the huge case, kind of like a watershed moment for Counter-Strike, and Valve banned all those players from competing, obviously, in any tournaments or anything like that. And there was no. We didn't know how long the bans were going to be for. A lot of people assumed that it was going to be like a year ban, but there was really just kind of silence from Valve as far as what was happening. And finally, Valve has broken their silence. This was on January 5th. Valve had a blog post, and they basically stood by their bans. And so, like we said, we didn't know if it was going to be a year ban, it was going to be a lifetime ban, if it was going to be 3 years. And Valve has given the players that were involved in that scandal a lifetime ban. They are banned indefinitely from involvement in Valve-sponsored events, and so we'll get into that in a minute. So those are like the majors, the Valve-sponsored majors. There's a lot of tournaments that aren't majors, and it seems like from what Valve has said that they're not going to put pressure on those other tournaments to like ban these players, that they would allow them to play. But they said to clarify, the bans for these players are permanent, and players proven to have taken part in match fixing will be permanently banned. They said as the scene grows, it's the unfortunate reality that some individuals will seek opportunities to take advantage of their fans. We will continue to take whatever action we think is necessary to protect the entertainment value created by professional Counter-Strike, including on occasion terminating our relationship with individuals who have demonstrated a willingness to exploit their fans' faith in the integrity of the sport. And that's really kind of what it comes down to, I think, for Valve. And a lot of people are really upset with this decision because for North America, we have a lot. That iBuyPower roster was probably one of the best rosters that North America has ever fielded. Players like Swag, who's like a young phenomenon who now will never be able to at least play in any majors. You have, Dazed, you have Steel, there's AZK. There's a lot of players that are banned as a result of this that are incredibly talented and would be actually fantastic if they could compete again. But they're not going to be able to. And a lot of people are upset. People are like, it should have just been a year. Everyone makes mistakes and stuff like that. And personally for me, I am disappointed in the sense that these, some of these players, like, they've owned up to the mistake now. And I think, though, as time goes on, it's easy for people to be like, because at the time, everyone was calling for like, hey, permanent ban, this can never happen. It's so funny how time changes things, isn't it? Because if you go back, like it was like these guys better be fucking nuked off the face of the planet. Like you can go back, and I guarantee you a lot of those same people now, after a year has gone by, right? Time heals all wounds. People are like, oh no, but because a lot of them stream and stuff like that. And,
what else heals all wounds?
What?
North American Counter-Strike.
That well,
I think that's why people want these guys back.
No, that's
like,
a huge
God
part
fucking damn it! Like Steel and Dazed are like true. Two of the few people who can compete at an international level. Like, and seeing like a young prodigy like Swag go away, like that was depressing. Like now we have Stewie. Yep. I'm not sure how familiar people are with Stewie 2K.
Yeah, Stewie 2K.
But that kid's like a beast, so it's good. Yeah. It's good. We got to have our young prodigy.
Yeah, and I agree. Like someone in the chat saying, I mean, so because and this ban affects like you said, John, players that are really really good. If these players weren't good or they were mediocre, no one would give a shit. They'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Nobody's talking about the Epsilon players and shit because nobody fucking cares.
Because nobody cares because they're not right because they're not exceptional. And at the end of the day, I respect that. Like people are like, well, they could have just given these players a year and then said if anyone does this after this, it'll be a permanent ban. But no, I mean, Valve. I honestly respect Valve for saying like. No, like if you even think about doing this, if you get caught doing this, it is just an end of story permanent ban. And I don't think you're going to see anyone
look at professional sports.
Sure.
If you're in the NBA or NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever, and you're caught like betting on a game, you will get a worse penalty than like beating your wife.
Yeah.
There is just no tolerance for that in professional sports, and I think that's probably the way it has to be. If you want professional sports, like if you want to act like this is professional sports, then you have to take a zero tolerance stance. And look at professional sports players. They're the same ages as these players.
Sure.
They're still young kids. They're probably tempted to make some easy money by sort of doing back channel betting on games. But the only reason that they will never do it is because they know that the consequences are that severe. And so it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. I think it's the right call.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that's not unfortunate. And this is the other thing I said. And people, when it comes to the match fixing, if you remember when the iBuyPower stuff came out, right? There was an article. Richard Lewis was one of the guys that broke the story, and people called him all kinds of names. Like the denial on the front. Obviously, they had been caught, but they denied it through their teeth, right? And instead of, again, I know hindsight is 20/20, but because the iBuyPower guys denied it and denied it and denied it, and actually in a lot of ways tried to smear the very people that brought this story out. That was the other huge factor with this. People forget this. And Valve we basically called on Valve to get involved. And as soon as you call the big dogs like Valve to get involved, they had to go in, they looked at the transactions. They're the ones who were like, okay, here's all these transactions with all the skins. Once Valve started doing the research, that's when those players really fucked themselves. And I have zero sympathy for that. It's different. Like if they
owned up to it right away,
if they had owned up to it, and I honestly believe this, if they had owned up to it and said, listen, it was a match, because in the grand scheme of things, this match meant absolutely nothing. It really was meaningless. It doesn't really excuse it, but it was absolutely meaningless in the sense of the grand scheme. Like it didn't really affect any play. It was a meaningless match. If they had owned up to it and said, yeah, we did something really stupid, we're apologetic. But as soon as when the denial came out, when the smear campaign came out, and then it was found that these guys actually are just lying through their fucking teeth, I think that honestly was a huge factor, and that's why honestly I don't really have much sympathy at all, because they never owned up to it.
Selfishly, I want these guys playing because
Sure.
I want North America to succeed internationally in Counter-Strike, but I think they made a stupid mistake, and ultimately it's Valve's decision. Like
it is.
I don't necessarily agree with their decision. I don't know that I would have done things the same way that they did, but
yeah, exactly. So anyway,
Who's the Michael Vick of esports?
The Michael Vick?
See, like Brandon said though earlier, like it's a different thing. Like if we're going to compare it to professional sports, there's been a lot of domestic abuse in professional sports, and those players are back playing. But I've seen Pete Rose's name being thrown around the chat. He was arguably one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Sure. Yeah.
He's never going to be in the Hall of Fame because he gambled, he lied, he cheated, he bet against his own team, and like because of that, because he lied and all that stuff up front, he's never going to be allowed in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And he was, like I said, arguably one of the greatest players of all time that played baseball. Yeah, just like these guys here.
His name is tarnished more than like players that have committed actual crimes.
Yeah, actual crimes or
Ray
even,
Lewis
like,
killed somebody.
Substance abuse policies or all that stuff. Like Brandon said, gambling is held to the highest degree of punishment in professional sports. And if CSGO, they're on the cusp of becoming even bigger than they are. If they want to be taken serious in the grand scheme of things, they have to set that example right away. No matter what.
Yeah, it's so I agree. It's unfortunate in a lot of ways, but again, and a lot of people are like, oh well, Valve led these guys on. Again,
but they said indefinite. Indefinite means
they said indefinite.
The fuck we want to do.
Yeah, it's amazing how these players become.
People are reading into the lack of detail,
right?
Where they didn't say it was permanent. Indefinite is technically not the same as permanent. It's no, this is basically probably what they meant from the beginning,
right?
But maybe they wanted to think about it a little longer or something. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't choose their words carefully. We don't actually know, but they're just clarifying now that no, they meant permanent. And so, end of story. It's basically just questioning the wording they used when really it seemed like this was the intent from the get-go.
Yeah, and I will say, it's interesting. Someone in chat said this, but Steele has said from the very beginning, he's one of the guys that was, banned again. We'd love to see Steele playing for North America, but he said he never thought he was going to be unbanned, and he's basically stood by it. and hasn't complained in the sense. I mean, he's bummed about it and pissed off about the mistake, but he said the whole time. And it's just amazing, like the revisionist history that happens with. Anyway, I mean, I get it, like time heals all wounds, but if these guys weren't actual really star players and really, no one would give a flying fuck. It's the same kind of thing of like the rules don't apply to people with money or if you have talent, and that's true a lot of times in the world. But I in one sense I appreciate Valve just being like, it doesn't, none of that matters. Like
I appreciate them laying out at least some mild rule set, which is like the basic thing you should know as a professional player is like don't cheat and don't gamble. Right? Like, don't do it, period. The fact that pro players are, like, using any of these betting sites, to me, is crazy. Because that seems like such a huge risk. Like, you've already hit the jackpot being, a professional esports player. There are not many people that get to do that. You're taking such a risk, even interacting with, like, the betting side of things. That is something that is so taboo in professional sports that they would never even touch it.
Yeah, definitely. So... Anyway, that's as far as I understand, that's I don't think Valve's going to be revisiting it anytime soon. That statement was pretty, like you said, or like I was saying on January 5th, pretty concrete. So, I think it said they ended with, while bans can be disruptive and painful to some members of the community, they are sometimes necessary. We sincerely hope that we won't have to issue more in the future. So, kind of like locking the issue and throwing away the key. Like, yep, this is the last thing we're going to say on that, and I don't think we're going to hear any more from Valve about it. Again, these players, the potential to participate in the non-major events, I think is still very high, and I think these players probably, like, that's kind of that people are trying to figure out for sure. There's been a couple comments on Reddit here and there from some Valve employees. I know there was one comment that was like, we're not going to put pressure on organizations that are having a lot of the events that aren't majors to ban these players or anything. So I think they still are going to be able to.
That problem is going to sort itself out, right? You will never be a player at the top level because those majors are a key part of the top level. So
absolutely.
I think that's fine. I mean, it's the same thing as like if you were to run your own CS tournament, you can invite whoever you want, but that doesn't mean that anyone cares about it.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Do we want to talk real quick? We just have really one quick hit because we talked about AGDQ, but there was the Smite World Championships going on this weekend, or was it the whole week? Was it the whole week?
Thursday.
This weekend.
Thursday, yeah. So I don't know what the prize pool for the Xbox was. Was it 1 million? I think it was. I'm trying to go back and look, but
it was a lot. Yeah,
it was a lot of money, and for that, Team Envious they took the console or the Xbox portion of the tournament, of the World Tournament. So shout out to Hastro, good guy. That guy's killing it, even though his CS team has cooled down a little bit. And I don't know how much for. I don't know if we have for how much the PC tournament was. How is that game? Have any of you guys played Smite on? I guess it would only be Nick. Have you played Smite on the Xbox?
Yes.
What do you think of it? Oh my god, that zoom on that camera. Jesus.
It works.
Oh my god, the mustache is just.
It works.
It's a video game.
It is a video game and it works.
Fuck yeah.
I prefer it on PC.
Rousing endorsement.
But it's the bindings on the controller work surprisingly well.
Okay.
It functions. But the last time I played it was like when it was in beta or whatever, and like the performance wasn't too good. So I mean, hopefully it runs better.
All right. Well, yeah, that was something that happened. It's cool to see, another MOBA besides Dota 2 and League of Legends having some. Stop smut, Nick. I can't focus. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Audio listeners are missing out on a real close up of Nick's
quite an angle.
Nick's neck beard.
Yes.
The back of my head.
Nick's mustache as well. Oh, one thing I should, so thank you, Brad, for pointing this out. Optic has a CS team now. They took on the roster. It's Shazam Conquest. Yeah, sorry, the Conquest, the ex-Conquest roster, which I think that roster has a ton of potential and a lot of really good talent on it. So I think there for a while, there was a video about it where Big Optic Hex talked with Shazam. Big Optic Hex here. He's a good guy. He was talking about how he had been looking to pick up possibly like a European team, but he really wanted to pick up a team that was in North America and more like where he actually lived. So I think this is actually a pretty good pickup overall. people like a lot of the CS people like, oh my god, here come the console optic fanboys to Counter-Strike. Like it was like a huge deal. It's like, do you read chat during
They'll watch it
tournaments?
anyway. Like,
yeah,
everybody's watching Counter-Strike.
It doesn't matter.
Console players are also playing the game. Literally everybody is playing Counter-Strike.
Exactly. It's just hilarious though. And like also like the Counter-Strike chat isn't cancer anyway, regardless. Like it's that much worse on anyway. It's just the whole thing's pretty funny. But I think it's exciting because Optic's a really legit organization and brings, will bring a lot of money and hopefully this
you only care about fucking money, obviously.
Yeah, can't wait to see the first 360 op and
yeah. And then FaZe Clan rumored to pick up a team as well. So here we go. It's happening. Is that
an actual rumor?
Is that legit, or are you just making that up?
No, I'm dead serious. That's been a rumor for a while. That FaZe is looking for a roster. So I don't think they've announced it yet.
Is dead.
Can't wait for the Skrillex montages.
Makes sense. I think more teams that have established brands will look to get established in new games. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. So with that, some new releases. On January 12th, a game called That Dragon Cancer comes out on.
There's
on
a comma
Steam.
there, so that's sort of.
Yeah, sorry, I should read it. That Dragon.
That Dragon Cancer.
Yeah, not like that. So this one though, I remember hearing about this game. So this is an immersive. I'll just read the description, but it's an immersive narrative video game that retells Joel Green's 4-year fight against cancer. Through 2 hours of poetic, imaginative gameplay that explores themes of faith, hope, and love. So, sounds like it's going to have a lot of feels in it. Yeah. So that comes out January 12th, and honestly, the system specs on this are going to be a little bit much. So your minimum for Windows, you need a Windows 7 or higher, and a 1.8 gigahertz dual core. So Tim, you're out. You're out to be able to run this game.
Can't hold this.
It's not going to be able to do it. But visually, it actually looks really interesting, and this is definitely something I might have to give a try to. It looks pretty neat.
Is there a season pass?
No, it doesn't seem like it. It is tagged as indie, adventure, and narration though. So
yeah, I think this has been at like some independent game festival or something. Like I've heard about this game.
This, yeah.
And I didn't realize it wasn't out already. So
yep,
it definitely seems like a game that is like a story-based thing that's going to hit you right in the feels.
If you want to go cry, I would say buy this game.
It does look like it's going to be a good cry game. Okay, and then also on January 15th, so that was the 12th that Dragon Cancer comes out. On the 15th, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
You had so much trouble reading that.
I was going to say Arisen, and then I was like, no, it's definitely Arisen. But Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, that's a weird
Dragon's Dogma name. Dark
Arisen.
I've
never played. This is the next exciting chapter in the Dogma franchise, delivering a huge brand new area, missions, enemies, and more. So this actually looks really fucking sick. I've never played any of.
This was on PS3
games.
and 360, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and really nice. They're porting it over to PC finally. It's gonna have 4K support. So like, if you have one of those,
is it monitors, it almost looks a little bit. I was gonna say Dark Souls, but it looks way more action, kind of like.
I know fucking nothing about Dark Souls. You fucking.
No, I'm just saying like.
Oh, there's a big dragon.
No, not Dark Souls. I'm more thinking of like Witcher almost, really. In some ways.
I mean, it's set in that type of setting, like.
Is it?
Medieval, like mystical setting, all that stuff. It looks really good. It's something I've wanted to play, but I wasn't gonna play it on console because it runs at like 15 FPS or something like that.
Okay.
But I've seen like YouTube videos of this leading up to it, and the spell effects themselves look amazing on PC. So
yeah,
that alone will just get me intrigued with it, and then I hear the story is actually pretty good with it. And
I might have to try this. Yeah, and it's only $30, so
yeah,
it's like a lot of content.
And it's coming with a whole bunch of DLC stuff. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's something I've been looking to buy. So
it's a pretty light week of releases.
Yeah, those were.
It's January, so
yeah, that we had highlighted. All right, fewer questions, shall we? Shall we dive in?
Time for some hard-hitting questions.
Yes, some very hard-hitting. All right, we're gonna start off with one from Drake. Drake's been in our questions a lot. He's had some good ones
from Toronto. Drake from Toronto.
Yes,
thanks for calling.
Oh man, I love when you make that Drake? Hotline bling, Drake. You're the best.
Jesus Christ.
What are acceptable, in quotes, toppings for spaghetti? My father puts sardines on his. Wow.
That's gross.
That's
Parmesan
fucked up
cheese.
individual. Your father is.
Like, so
Parmesan
I guess,
cheese, meatballs, red sauce,
Yeah, I mean that's
sausage, red
the red
sauce.
sauce. Are we talking like just spaghetti noodles or?
I don't
Yeah,
think
I'm
I've
assuming
ever
this
had
is-
anything exotic on spaghetti.
Yeah, just
I do
assuming this
Parmesan
is-
cheese, meatballs if they're not
I
already
mean,
there.
mushrooms, crushed red
A little bit of
pepper.
hot sauce sometimes.
yeah, some hot.
Yeah, I've done like some Cholula on spaghetti.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not like
if I
I'm
would
throwing
ever-
on like
Put anything on spaghetti, dog.
You probably could. I mean, spaghetti's a pretty blank slate overall. It's not.
Yeah, is it a sauce? Then yeah, it could probably go on spaghetti.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I feel like you could probably put just about anything, like especially vegetables. I think you could put carrots. You could probably put squash. Like you could put vegetables in spaghetti, and it'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cheese, chicken. I mean, tons of dishes. I mean, just think about the amount
I
of
just
dishes.
I don't see
Whole
what
turkey.
sardines adds to spaghetti though. That is a weird
I
one.
think that
I don't.
really takes
I'm
away.
gonna
guess the
top my
texture of
spaghetti
it?
with ravioli.
God. What a
Next
can of
gen
Chef
pasta.
Boyardee ravioli on top of your.
Yeah, just a can of Chef Boyardee on top of spaghetti noodles.
I'm gonna do it with
Get some alphabet spaghettios.
spaghettios. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Some spaghettios on there. But yeah, you can tell your father that that's a terrible choice. At least according to this podcast, I'm sure he won't care, and we'll continue doing it. But, all right. Patrick Priest 12 asked if you could have one thing you wanted, but you can't go shopping for anything after. What would you get?
What?
No wish for wishes BS. Okay, so you have one thing that you wanted, but you can't go shopping for anything after. So you
like
buy
the
this.
last thing that we get in our life.
The last
Is that
thing
how
you
I'm
buy.
interpreting this.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's kind of a weird way to ask it, but
I guess we're saying you could still get groceries and stuff because you'd have to eat.
Yeah, but like I guess
Yeah.
like a big purchase.
but
Like
something that you wanted. Yeah,
stated.
like you really wanted.
I guess I would.
Hmm.
I mean, for my situation, I would say a house. Like
Yeah.
I would buy a
that's a good one.
house that
Yeah.
or either go out and buy a brand new house or build a house, and then that's that. I don't know.
Yeah, house is a good answer. Man, one last thing.
I don't understand I don't understand modern existence without shopping for something.
I can't even get in that head.
It's like let's say you get a house and now you
Right.
don't have like cleaning equipment
right.
or anything. Like you don't have Lysol.
So,
you don't
are
have
we talk-
basic
like-
Yeah.
stuff.
Son of a bitch.
Can I get a gift card that I can add funds to?
Can I get a fully loaded house then? Like
Gift card. You just buy one
Like
gift
you-
card. You buy a Target gift card and just keep adding for the rest of your life. You can only buy from Target though.
You get a really nice house that you're happy in living in for the rest of your life, but you forgot to get
empty.
toilet paper.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
That would
Now, okay. Now
suck.
I'm seeing where this question is. I think he's saying that you can't go shopping for anything after. Period. I don't think there's any. Because he doesn't mention food here, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you get a 3D printer and just hope. You just hope
That's
that technology advances.
I hope
quickly.
I hope we get the steak Keurig printer pack. Just wait for that.
just pray they come out with edible
Damn.
Put a
paper foil or
put a
whatever,
K cup in there and it makes my Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh shit.
I guess so. If we're assuming that you get all of your your lifestyle things taken care of, like toilet paper and toothpaste and everyday stuff. I guess this is like your last discretionary purchase.
Someone's like
A fleshlight.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I mean, if you get hungry enough, you could eat the contents that have been dispensed in the
Oh.
flashlight. I'm
You're
just
not
saying.
supposed to?
All right, we're done with
You
that.
don't do it normally?
Jesus Christ.
Thought that's
I
how
mean,
you
I'm just
clean.
saying.
Isn't that how you clean it?
Oh God.
I can't strike through this question more than once. Or I would.
Brandon's trying to. Oh no! All right, we'll move on. Oh, God. Amnesia Hayes asks, "What is your favorite species of bird and why?" I mean, yeah.
I have one.
I love parrots. I had a parrot.
Mine
Two
will
parrots.
always be cardinals, just because that was my midget
It's not a
football
fucking
team
species,
mascot.
Tim.
What?
What?
It's not a
Pterodactyl
species.
then? What?
Pterodactyl.
Oh my god. Wait.
Favorite? I mean, I don't really think about birds.
Like
are kind
a type of bird, just any like a general type of bird.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
aren't
Gotta be
birds
like
a
a big ass
species in
hawk because
themselves?
they're kind of badass.
Isn't birds the species already? And then you're just
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make that question doesn't make any sense.
favorite species.
My
of
favorite
bird.
species of birds
Yeah. I mean,
is
like
birds.
Yes, no.
That's my
No,
favorite
you can
species.
go. I'm on the National Park Service website. There's a long list of bird species.
Oh, is there? So is it separated?
Holy
like the way
shit,
that
there
you're
is.
thinking?
Oh yeah, yeah. You got a white-cheeked pintail. You got
so that's-
green-winged teal. You got the northern shoveler.
Oh, okay.
You got a mottled duck, lesser scalp, ring-necked duck,
Yes,
canvasback. I mean,
Oh, I like
Cannabis
this.
back?
Camp-
Fuck yeah,
it
dude.
is hard to pick.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. The cannabis back. Fuck yeah.
Cannabis back.
You got the black-bellied whistling duck, the fulvous whistling duck, the red-breasted
kids,
merganser.
Come look at this bird, kids. It's the very rare cannabis bag. You can tell because it's got the sick trichomes on the crest of its beak.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
There
the
are actually
blue-footed
a ton of bird
Nick,
species.
what kind of strain is it on this
The
back?
blue-footed booby is good.
It's a solid one.
But
they're dead.
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
Eating all the gumdrops he can
There it
see.
Yes.
Cum drops?
Go.
I thought that's
I did say gumdrops.
Yeah, that's why
actually, and
I wanted
hoping-
clarification. That's what I thought he said. Cum drops. Yeah.
Sorry.
It came from John,
Real
so like,
adult now.
yeah.
Oh.
What's the species of bird that that can eat? Is it like eat an alligator or something? I'm trying.
A
What?
bird can eat an alligator?
No. I'm trying to think. It's,
Google.
I want to say it's like it's either a hawk or like a peregrine falcon or something, where they can like they prey on some massive fish or something in the wildlife that you wouldn't think a bird could kill. I can't remember what type of bird it is.
Velociraptor.
I saw not very recently a video of a pelican eating a pigeonhole. It just swooped down, snatched the pigeon, and then it fought for its life and its neck and everything, but it eventually got it down. It was pretty.
And
it was like a
eventually
6
got it
video.
down like it's some kind of fucking raid boss fight.
Pretty much.
Let's
Next
see.
question.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, next question is by Leaf Not Leaf. Or maybe it's Life Not Leaf. I don't know how he.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, you know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, baby deer. That's what I meant. Yeah, I think there's an eagle or a hawk or something that can eat a baby deer.
I thought you were saying a baby deer is a bird, and I'm like, Brandon.
I was like, Brandon.
Well, once the bird eats it, it is a bird.
Brandon got that weed bird got to Brandon. Brandon
Yeah.
hanging out with that weed bird.
Did you have a cannabis bird roast tonight for dinner?
Holy shit! I just looked at this picture. It's lifting it off the ground.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Fuck.
Damn.
That's insane.
Okay.
Video?
All right. Well, Leaf asked, you and another KBMOD podcast member are buying a tiny house. Who is it with? Who is it with? And what is the minimum square footage acceptable? Oh man, the tiny house.
Me and Brandon, 6 square feet.
Jesus Christ.
6 square feet.
I
That's
feel
like
like
smaller than
We're not
the
gonna need
surface
any
of my
more.
desk.
We're not gonna. Well, how much? How tall are you?
6 feet.
I'm 6 feet 2. Let's go. Let's do 6'2". Give us 2 inches extra room.
So it's a closet.
So we just stand.
Just stand.
No,
just stand.
we're not. We're laying down, Brandon.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's 6 square feet. You're right. We could lay
We're not
down.
gonna. We just need. Well, let's give me like a room the size of a king size bed. How about that?
Okay. I don't think you like Brandon again. I feel like Brandon is a very organized person, and not that you would need your space, Brandon, but with the space you have, you would want it to be like used efficiently. I just can't. I don't know if Brandon would be the best candidate to live with. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like because all of our belongings and stuff would be in that little 6.
Yeah.
That 6 square feet.
We won't have any belongings anymore. It's just me and Brandon.
Of each other.
Good lord, the faces Nick is making. You need to watch them.
I feel like the next step is we make a suicide pact.
Oh my god.
Me and Brandon forever.
Audio listeners are missing out on a pretty alarming shot of Nick's face.
Yes. Very terrifying. I think we talked about. I feel like we talked about tiny houses either last week or the week before.
I think this is at your house for Friendsgiving. We were watching.
Oh, maybe that's what we were
watching.
talking
Tiny
about.
houses. I know that.
That's what it was.
I would kind of. I've seen those before, and I would be like, I'd be down to try and live in one of those for like a year.
That for a single person. Yes.
Yeah, I could. That'd
be fun. Living with anybody, I don't know how.
If I owned like one of those in like a truck, and I could like tow it around the country. Yeah, I'll do that.
That I understand, but actually living with somebody, I don't know. I don't think there. My answer would be nobody. I don't know.
I would pick Brandon just so I could use his foot hammock.
Yeah, that's true. He does.
That's true. I feel like with a small place, you would need to get accessories that don't take up any extra space. The foot hammock was just space I wasn't using. It was just empty.
That's true.
Now it's a hammock that keeps my feet warm.
How warm are your feet right now? That was the question.
Well, my door is shut, so my computer is actually keeping this room very toasty.
Yeah, I just opened the window. I was getting pretty hot in here.
I think I could I don't know who I would be able to live with in a tiny space. Yeah. I think I could live with some KBMOD members in a regular size place.
In a normal like a roommate scenario amount of space.
Tiny house, someone would die within a year.
Yeah,
I give it 6 months.
A week.
A week.
I can't even imagine. Like, also, if you're like married or living with somebody, like, and you fight in a tiny house, where do you just go outside? You're just like, I'm going for a walk. Like, where do you go? Like, you know what I mean?
Going to the fucking store.
I'm going to the closet. It's like 1 foot over. Slam the door. I'm going upstairs. The loft's right above you. Like, what do you do? I guess you just anyway.
You make a line in the middle of the room with blankets.
Don't cross it.
And you're like, don't fucking come over here.
I'm mad at you.
Don't even fucking look over here. You hang sheets from the ceiling.
I think Katie Zen's seems like a pretty small guy overall. I think I would live with Katie Zen just for his. Seems like I don't know how tall Katie Zen is.
I think you could convince Katie Zen just that like he gets a little corner.
Yeah,
and you basically get the
rest. He's a beta. You could convince him to take the L on that.
Yeah, I think I would choose Katie. I think he would be more like he'd be more manipulative, like able to be manipulated.
I mean, he's young, so
he's young.
He's very.
And I would get him to give me a portion of his family video salary or whatever to make like improvements for my side.
You would basically you'd still make him pay half the rent, but he just gets like a corner.
Yeah, you could get all of the hottest movies from 5 months ago from all Netflix.
Yeah,
if you live with Katie Zen.
Katie, what do you think? Katie's in the chat.
You don't need a budget for entertainment. He already takes
First
care
off,
of that.
like Katie Zen, what are your dimensions, Katie Zen? Like, what are you as a person? How
I don't know how tall Katie is.
It's very hard to judge.
Because we had that webcam shot of him, basically his lower body, and he seems like a pretty, like, he's not a huge dude.
That is, we got that webcam shot of him. Yeah, let's analyze those webcam.
I'm just saying, we literally watched his lower body the entire cast yesterday. Anyway, we'll see if Katie gets back. But Katie Zen, if this ever happens, you're my choice, man. I know it's probably not the most flattering the way we're describing it.
My choice, man.
You're a good guy. I don't fucking work at Family Video.
Actually, right now, I would probably pick Hex because he's not walking around much. So I mean, my space is my space.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, Hex can't get around much.
He's got that bionic leg, which you could probably like cook stuff in. I don't know what modifications got to it, but
it's like a.
The thing is, I think he'd get cranky because you'd need to do things for him because like he can't get around very well. Like you're basically signing up to help him out all the time.
He gets cranky when you just ask him a simple question. You're right. I take that back.
You gotta combine the livability of the person with the small space. That's what makes it hard. I could if we had like a 5,000 square foot house, I could live with any of you. No problem.
Let's be honest. None of us are picking Bob because those children come along with him.
Oh yeah. Well, Bob's.
I'm not taking Bob if it's just fucking Bob. Right?
He's that crazy with all of those kids. Without the kids, I don't want to know how crazy he gets.
All right. Well, and good question, Leaf. All right, and finally, Life. Yes, Life, not Leaf. All right.
It's Leaf, Jesus.
No, let's really confuse this even more. All right, Archimedes. What would you do if you won the $1.3 billion Powerball? God.
And then we had another question that was similar to this, asking, would you take the lump sum or the annuity?
Not the
lump sum. What is a lump sum after? I guess it doesn't really.
The lump sum they give you. Yeah, they give you I forget, but there's like different. They give you different amounts for each.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the conventional wisdom is you always take the lump sum because you can turn around and invest it, and over the course of the annuity payments, you could make way more than just getting that annuity.
Take the lump sum. It's so much money, anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
this is true.
Like it's particularly with this lottery, like legit, who gives a shit?
My brother looked it up today. I think you get like 800 some million after all the taxes and all that crap if you took the lump sum. So I mean,
too shabby.
That's enough.
I would buy like I would buy a yacht. I would buy
I'd buy an island.
Someone said KBMOD yacht, but I would seriously like a really nice yacht. Or like, what about buy a cruise ship? That would be awesome. I think to own a cruise ship and
Here's
then
the
just
thing.
hang with your friends.
I think you buy really cool things that don't trash all of that money at once. Like a yacht, that'll work, right? You buy a really nice yacht today.
Sure.
And then you plan out what maintenance costs on that yacht for the rest of your life, and it's probably like, I don't know, let's say 20 million. So that's nothing in the big scheme of things.
No.
But like if you're gonna buy a cruise ship, you would be buying it to sell cruises on. Like
that's true. Yeah,
you're not gonna use it yourself.
That's true.
Because
See,
like,
Brandon, this is why, Brandon, that my money would be gone within 10 years, and Brandon would be like
you're
a
the type of person.
multi-billionaire.
You are the type of person that
I
it
would
is
be-
dangerous for you to win that $1 billion.
It would be gone. I'd have like a cruise ship. I'd have bought like an island that I never go to. Like, anyway, I don't know.
The ink would be on the paper for your cruise ship, and you would forget that just operating the cruise ship, like just sailing anywhere, costs millions.
Millions of dollars a year.
Scott's just going out on a vacant ship by himself.
Just huge. It's the size of like 5
He's wearing a
football
bathrobe and a captain's hat, and that's it. That's
man.
for a week. I'd buy a Panda Express.
Wow.
Just like one store.
Would you buy Panda Express, the franchise?
No, just one restaurant.
Okay. That's probably something I would actually do. I'd buy a bar.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
And you know, I think owning a bar it'd be stressful and everything, but it'd be like that good kind of stress.
Not that stressful. You have 800.
Wait, how much money is it?
800. I mean, if we're going after taxes,
let's assume it's well over 500 million after taxes.
Yeah.
Can I buy Chili's?
Like the
Can
franchise?
you buy the largest restaurant chain in the United States? Probably not.
Yeah.
What restaurant chain can I buy?
Subway. No,
Applebee's.
probably still not.
Can I buy Old Country Buffet?
Let me see how much is.
God, those are still around.
Yeah.
Ours got shut down for lots of reasons.
You don't see the king of comedy on there advertising it until you probably don't watch television. What's his face? God.
You don't watch television, you fucking animal?
Yeah.
Uncivilized swine?
Old Country Buffet. God, where? I can't see how much it's worth. How much is it worth?
Well, I don't think. Why are we still? No, I don't care. I don't care enough. Let's move forward.
I want to know.
I would probably just. Yeah, I would maybe buy a yacht or something. I would take a really long vacation.
Yeah.
And just like think about what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Like you would retire.
At that point, it doesn't actually matter what you do. Like you have more than enough money to live and never work again. So
exactly.
it's like I would have to think about my life in a fundamentally different way.
Okay, all I'm getting is Old Country Buffet average salaries, and I don't give a fuck about that, so I'm closing that.
What's the average salary?
It was like 10.27 or something. But that looked like it was like it was like 10.27 for working in the kitchen at Old Country Buffet.
Wait.
Actually, you know
What?
what? Like you could with that much money, you could basically never have to do anything yourself again. You could just pay people to do the things that you wanted to do.
I'm changing my answer to I would hire Chef D.
Okay.
That's DJ Khaled's chef.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
actually, that's probably like I would. You know what I would do? I would hire like I would have a personal trainer. I would have a personal chef. I would just have like the things that would allow me to live like a nice, comfortable life,
and prevent you from falling into the pit of shit you would fall into without a personal trainer.
Yeah, just like prevent allow me to live as long a life as I can, like keep myself physically active and stuff, because I feel like at that point you're making sure that you can maximize your time with all of that wealth.
Yeah.
I'd buy an Xbox One.
I was gonna say,
one.
I would actually. All of my things would be super mundane because I would just I would buy a new TV and be like, you know what, this TV is fine, but a new one is like a new great TV is like $5,000. Okay, like I'll buy that.
Nothing. That's a drop in a bucket.
I would just like I'll get some new monitors. I'll probably get a new PC.
Yep.
Like I get a
I'll buy an
bunch of
Oculus for
boring
my
things.
ball sack, dude. I don't care.
I'd get a bunch of boring things and just leave the rest invested and like just have money whenever I needed it.
Oh man. All right. Well, there you go. Those were the
We're too smart for this question.
the questions for this week. Yeah. I'm not. I give the dumbest answers.
Well, yeah,
but you guys are.
I
still would buy a cruise ship. I don't care. I mean, I would have a yacht too, but I would also have a cruise ship. There's a cruise ship. There's not a brand new one.
There's
cruise ship.
You have to have a respect for people that come into money like that. Like look at a lot of the super rich people that they continue doing work that they don't have to do.
Right.
And it's like I have to respect people that don't just like completely fall off the earth and just do just live in debauchery because they could, but instead they're choosing to continue being people that go to work every day.
That'd probably be me. I couldn't not do.
I think. Eventually, though, especially if you're younger and you came into money like that, life would get. I mean, you can only vacation so long. Like you want to be doing something. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I would think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Me personally, no.
Like I'll definitely be happy to experiment if someone wants to just hand me that money. Like I'll find out. Absolutely.
If someone wants to put me in their will.
What's that poker player that lives like the greatest life?
Lady Gaga.
I can't think of that guy's name. God damn.
Sure.
Do they still show poker on TV? I'm kind of curious now.
Poker?
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably do.
World.
All right.
Series of poker.
We're gonna get into the our last section here, the iTunes podcast review of the week. Brandon, I'll let you at least intro this.
Yeah. If you're a first-time listener, we do put this podcast on iTunes. Though when you listen on iTunes, you miss out on whatever Nick is showing us at the moment on his webcam.
Yeah. Sure.
But we do have this podcast on iTunes, so if you do enjoy audio only, you can go subscribe to us there. And if you haven't left a review for us before, or even if you have and, I don't know, have another iTunes account or something, we would love it if you would leave a review for the cast if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, just don't review it. Like, don't leave us a negative review. Just choose not to review us. But if you do like the cast, you should rate us 5 stars and put whatever you want in the text field. If you've listened to prior podcasts, you know that there's truly like no limit on what you can put in there. Your imagination is your limit. But we do have a review this week from someone who maybe has many iTunes accounts, judging by how many times he's reviewed the podcast.
Yes.
But please take it away there, Scott.
Yeah. So Bustler Hustler again revisits us. I think he says, is this his 3rd review?
Or actually, it's entirely possible that this is just an imposter.
It could be. It could be an imposter.
It could be that someone is trying to change our perception of Bustler Hustler.
Trying to slander his good name?
You're right.
Yeah, or maybe improve his name. Like, I don't know what his real reputation is because now my whole world is warped. I don't know which review is the real him.
Oh, well, let me tell you. This, I think, if anything, this would be... I don't know if this... Well, we'll decide if this helps or hurts his reputation here in a second. The title of this review is Cool Kids Don't Do Drugs. Obviously by Bustler Hustler.
That's not him.
Yeah, I don't know
right now by that title. It's not him.
Doesn't sound like him at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know if this is him. Okay. Drugs are like being on spectator mode, and 10% of your brain is still you, man, and it's not enough. Like libido or dehydration overpowering common sense. Like the first part of that could be pretty deep.
I have no idea.
I don't really know. We'll break it down in a second, but P.S.
I think you have to read it a different way.
Do I have to read it a different way? Okay, hold on.
Drugs are like being on spectator mode, and 10% of your brain is still you, man. And it's not enough. Like libido or dehydration overpowering common sense.
Okay, I see how you read it.
I'm reading it like a philosophy professor.
I get the first part, and it's not enough. I don't get the last part. Like libido's not enough. I don't get the dehydration overpowering common sense.
I think really it's saying that your libido, you're being dehydrated, will make you not think clearly. It overpowers your common sense.
Yes. Okay, no, I get it. Nope, you're right. That is what he's saying. Gotcha. Spectator. Okay. Well, I don't really. I really hope that Bustle Hustler does not have any actual experience with this, and he's just maybe read this in a book somewhere. But
he heard this from his professor.
Yeah, I heard it from his professor. But okay, pretty profound start. The second part, not so much. P.S. Shave the pedo stash, Scott. It looks awful. P.P.S. It's already been done. P.P.S. Get Sham in as a guest. And the last
he's never been on the podcast before.
Yeah, he's never been on before.
Never been on here.
Never before.
Those are two decent pieces of advice, though.
Yes. Sham, let's see. Sham's been on here multiple times, and he is always welcome when he would like to. So Sham knows he has an open invitation to be on whenever.
He's been on the podcast like 20 times.
Yeah, like 20, 25
legit
times.
20 times probably.
Bustler Hustler is in chat and mentions, he says, I intentionally send in poor reviews to encourage people to make better ones.
There you go.
Which, you know what? I can appreciate that goal. So
yeah. There you go.
I don't believe that. Wait, I have to drink my half and half.
Yes. So this. Okay.
That's right.
This is the final. So.
Well, no, this is not technically the final. Like we could go further.
No, I meant the final bit for tonight.
I plan on going further.
Okay.
I think the next step here is goat milk. Maybe I've never drank.
Okay. So hold on, real quick. If you didn't listen to last week's podcast, Nick bought whole milk, which he had never had before, and tried that. So you can actually listen to that in episode 220. And obviously, again, we really encourage you to be here and listen live because Nick has his webcam on and you get a very, very zoomed in Nick Fenton face and mustache for this.
So he's going to only some of the milk made it into Nick Fenton's mouth last week.
That's true. It was pretty terrifying.
Well, he had a full glass of whole, and then
he had a whole nother
did other things.
I drank all of the whole milk. I bought a quart, I guess. I drank all of it.
So he approves of whole milk. Now half and half's a whole nother matter, though. This is
I feel like this is because I mean,
this is literally cream.
There's a lot of cream.
This is where shit gets real.
How much are you? Wait, how big? How much are you gonna drink?
Yeah,
I have
you
to
chug it?
move this so far back in order for you to see it.
Is that a Soylent bottle? Like what?
Yeah, it looks like
it's like a water bottle.
That is a lot of half and half.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Let's do this.
All right, here we
go. I'm gonna shoe nice this and I'm gonna chug it all. All right.
Oh god.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
It's so thick.
Cream. It tastes like I just at the teat of a whipped cream can.
Oh
my
man.
God. I mean, I'll go for another, I guess, but
go for another.
Nope, I don't like this.
I think
well, it's not meant to be drank straight. It's supposed to be
put in like coffee.
Something.
Like as someone who likes whole milk, I think the line at which it is actually drinkable as just a beverage sits between whole milk and half.
It's just too much. But I'm gonna have another one.
Nick's gonna get half and half's gonna be his preferred milk.
Oh my god, it's so much! I need to stop.
He's gonna start putting half and half in cereal. Like
it's just show up at LAN next year, like, yeah, I got some half and half.
It's so much.
The thing is, though, now Nick, you're tainting yourself because you used to drink what, skim, right?
Yeah.
So now you've had whole milk.
I had skim when I went back home for Christmas because that's my dad. My dad bought it, and I was like, "This is awful."
All right, so the last step I think is next week. You need to have heavy whipping cream.
Yes. Yes, Nick.
And then the process will be complete.
God, fine.
Oh man, heavy whipping cream. Yeah, I don't know where you go from there. Then you're pretty much.
And I want to see him. I want to see him drink skim and see if he even knows. See if he even see if it even tastes like anything after that point.
Yeah, it tastes like something. It has a taste, but it's
skim is so watered down though. Oh man, yeah.
Skim milk ruins perfectly good cereal.
Yeah,
it does. It really does.
I don't know if that's true.
It'll be true after you taste cream and you don't even know what skim milk is like anymore.
Brandon, I'm going to taste your cream.
And that's the end of the cast.
And we're going to
end on
that.
Just going to click this button right here.
Okay. Yep. All right. Let's just close this sucker down. And we'll see you next week, everyone.
Scott, where can people follow us?
Yeah, so people can follow. Actually? Oh man, you're gonna make me do this again. Remember last week how I messed up? You can find Volition on Twitter, replacing all of his characters with the one. So at 111111, and you can find Volition. You can find John at KBMOD, John, Nick at NFen, me at APL Fisher, and Tim at Steffoon Noob. You can find KBMOD Gaming on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. We sometimes post stuff relevant to our website. Sometimes we post funny polls. Sometimes we post for podcast questions. Well, we do every Sunday night. And we'll be back.
The podcast live, Scott.
And they can watch the podcast live at twitch.tv/KBMOD. So do that sometime if you're an audio listener. Hop on in. And like I said, if you're just audio listening, the last two episodes have been some serious Nick Fenton cam time that hasn't been seen in the last, I don't know, year.
Ever.
Or ever, really. Yeah, this is kind of unprecedented. So we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week for episode 222. I know, Brandon, you will be away.
I will be gone, yes.
What is next weekend?
Next weekend will be the 17th of January.
The 17th. Yes.
So. Might be moving. We'll see.
Okay. Well, in that case, then let's call off the whole. You know what? Brandon's not here. John's not here.
No.
I think the last podcast.
I think I have to feed my cats that day too. So I might not be able to.
It'll be a Scott Fisher solo cast.
It'll be a solo cast. No, we'll definitely have a cast next week, but roster to be announced. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. We will see you next time.
Peace.
Yeah.